Good morning, good morning, everybody. I hope everybody had a good week. Did you have a good week, JP?
I did. Yeah.
All right. What about you, Mr. Carter? What are you eating for breakfast today, Tom? What you got?
I got a bacon, egg, and cheese McMuffin with a hash brown and coffee.
It's from McDonald's in Cherville, our sponsor every Saturday. I had an egg and cheese biscuit and a strawberry smoothie. What you working on there, Chip?
I just wrapped up my sausage and egg biscuit. Thank you, JP, for getting that.
You're welcome.
And I think Miss Brooke had the same thing I did. And JP?
I got a sausage and egg with a round egg biscuit.
All right. So while we're sitting here getting us prepared and stuff, JP, I forgot to tell you. Would you mind sending her, Brooke? Pick you one of those microphones out there, and we'll get you on the air here in just a little bit. Say hey to everybody. I guess that'll be 3. That'll work right there. Just tell JP to move his head a little bit, but we'll get you going in just a minute. But got a big show today. NFL, Major League Baseball news. We've got, of course, Super Bowl next week. NBA, a weird time of year, getting transitioned to everything. Got some golf news, and of course, college football season is over. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Got a couple of notes.
Bush Clash.
And the Bush Clash. NASCAR is coming to Bowman Gray. I've got highlights of that as well. So,
Carolina Duke.
Zach, how am I the one that brings up the Bush Clash?
we're getting
He
there.
said all that stuff and forgot the Bush Clash.
Because I'm so excited about what I wanted to start with. I'm sitting over here waiting to hit play. But first of all, let's see. Brooke, can you hear us in there? All right, tell JP to turn the microphone on. You don't have to put some. Does she don't have any? Does she have headphones over here, JP? Because we have to get them.
No, actually, she doesn't.
All right, we'll get that in the next break. So we'll talk to her in the next break. But we'll get her voice on there. Say hey to everybody, Brooke. You go ahead and say hey to everybody if JP hits the buttons right.
No,
He didn't hit the buttons right.
it's all right.
Oh, that's the reason why. All right, try now.
There you go.
All
All right.
Good deal.
She's not going to be loud, probably. She's a little quiet girl.
That's it. Soft-spoken.
But we're going to teach her some stuff on here. But we'll get you going in a minute, get some headphones, and get her on here and let her introduce herself. All right, but we do have to start with this in college football news. Big news, big news, big news. Tom, are you excited?
What big news?
Zach, hit the computer.
Okay.
Oh, that's just
It has been officially recognized. For the second time in a week, the Oregon Ducks have been named a national champion. For the second time this year, a rankings has ranked Oregon the number 1 team. It's an official ranking, and they've been recognized by 2 different ranking systems as the national champion. Like the old ways we used to do it, we all go on the boat. We all saw it happen on the field. Go fight Ducks, Tom. They're the champs. Let's schedule a rematch if you want it. You love college football? Zach, do you know about this? There's official computer rankings, and 2 of them set out. Last week we talked about them. Oregon was named a national champion last week from it, and then this week it comes out again. This one's ranking. This is the Anderson and Hester poll, 2025 national champions. Good, but the good news is, Tom, y'all came in second in this one again. So second place, like we tell the LeBron fans, it's okay to be second. There's nothing wrong with it. But according to Anderson and Hester and the Wolf polls, Oregon is your national champion, and it just goes down in the NCAA books too, Zach.
Yeah, it's official. It goes down they're co-champions.
Just like UCF being the champions and everything.
Yeah. I'm trying. Yeah. That's the last time we had co-champions was UCF. It was the UCF year. Yeah.
Did they get a trophy?
They are officially allowed to put the banners up. Yes.
Seriously.
Yes.
Oh my
terrible.
God.
Yes. This
is crazy.
They're national champions. That's like at Carolina. One of the requirements is to get your jersey retired, not honored, is you have to be a national player of the year. That's those 6 jerseys up at the top. So Stackhouse, there's a big argument about his being it because he was Sports Illustrated National Player of the Year, and Carolina's Ring of Honor or whatever did not recognize that as it. And that's how Sean May ended up wearing 42 and some others. But Stackhouse, technically, there's a big argument on that one. I know that's in-house and not NCAA stuff, but that whether his 42 should actually be retired or not. He was named National Player of the Year.
So even though they've got jerseys hanging up in the rafters, a lot of them, a lot of those are not retired.
No, correct. There's two different sets.
Okay.
So there's honored and the honored jerseys are all of them. But there's like 6 retired.
There's like 38 retired honored jerseys.
Correct. So Stackhouse is up there for that one. I'll pull them up there. The 7 numbers. Jack Cobb does not have an actual number. It's just the NC logo. Lenny Rosenblue, Phil Ford, George Klamick, Jordan Jameson, Hansbrough, and James Worthy, all National Players of the Year. So that's how you get the jersey actually retired. So
you said Stackhouse was named SI Player of the Year. What entity normally names the national players? Is it the NCAA?
I don't know what they're accepting. Let's see. It's not saying it on there.
Yeah, it just says National Player of the Year. So I guess that was my question.
Associated. Here it is.
AP.
There's the criteria right there. Right. I'll let you read it, Chip, for the folks.
There you go. Yeah. One of the criteria to be met: Associated Press Player of the Year, AP Player of the Year, Naismith College Player of the Year, Wooden Award, Sporting News Player of the Year, Oscar Robertson Trophy, formerly the USBWA National Player of the Year, the National Association of Basketball Coaches Player of the Year. Sports Illustrated did not make the cut.
Yep. So Sporting News did in Stackhouse. That's why I said that was the argument about Stackhouse, whether he should get it because he was actually recognized as. Everybody knows what Sports Illustrated is. I've got the cover. It might even be in this building of him on the cover. I feel
like he should be grandfathered in. If you're going to put the Sporting News on there and not SI, yeah.
And the Sporting News don't exist anymore, does it?
Exactly. Well, I don't. That's fine. Sporting News still exists.
I'm pretty. I don't know.
They had good baseball. Baseball preseason reports back in the day. Let's see.
Well. So, Tom, you don't think they should put their banners up, or
what? No.
If you were Oregon, would you want to put your banner up?
Yes.
You would do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
We split.
I mean,
they only got one loss.
Would you really? This is like the Clover Valley brand of national championship.
Does anybody know if UCF put their banner up?
I don't know. It's recognized on all their stuff. I think they didn't they have a parade or something? Pretty sure.
The Sporting News still exists, but it is now a digital-only publication.
Yeah. Well, here's all your honored players, like 40 of them.
That might be true of Sports Illustrated, too.
I was want to see what it said about Stackhouse on here.
I knew they were talking about not having anything.
Yeah, First team All-America, so they don't even list that he was a Player of the Year by Sports Illustrated on that. So, yep, there's your little note. So, Oregon Ducks fans, be proud of your season. Congratulations.
I just don't know why Kevin's so obsessed with this. I mean,
I think it's hilarious.
I mean, it's just like
because you're sitting there, man. That's why you're sitting there.
I mean, it's like he's pulling a Terry.
This is everything college football has been forever, and I think it's the most funniest.
It's terrible.
We actually played the game.
Yeah.
And they got the nerve to have these rankings.
We have a sanctioned playoff that does not finalize the national championship.
If you go back to the list, Kevin, if you go back to the list of the ranking. You had it.
Hold on.
Go back to
it. This is Kevin's definition of why he can't stand college football, basically.
Okay. Ohio State beat Oregon, beat Notre Dame, beat
Penn State,
beat Texas, beat Indiana if you want to throw them too. It's like there's 5 teams.
But Oregon beat everybody below it. Oregon beat Ohio State and who everybody they beat, like the imperialism map.
Oregon beat Ohio State and Penn State. But if you want to look at, Ohio State beat all the other teams.
Well, you told us Notre Dame don't count, so don't mention that one.
Oh, Notre Dame doesn't count. They don't, but since they're there, we beat them. I mean, I'll give them credit. They're talking about.
Look at BYU at 8.
They're talking about their coach going to the pros. That he's a Sean McVay 2.0. I think that'd be pretty interesting to see if he sticks around.
Freeman.
Freeman. Yeah.
2 years ago, he was an assistant.
But I tell you, I'm telling you, he gets the buy-in. He gets the buy-in.
There's your sports. Here's your Sports Illustrated national.
People forget how good he was, man.
Yeah, he wasn't. Now he wasn't from Florida, was he?
He played for Oak Hill, but I don't know originally where he came from. He came around.
I can remember in
Philly. Is he from Philly?
Sports
Yeah,
Illustrated
I
still does
can't
have a
remember.
magazine, by the
Do
way.
they?
Didn't he play about the same time Vince Carter did?
No,
He played. He was before.
He was right. They could have been playing together, but he and
Okay.
Rasheed Wallace left
So,
early.
right.
Okay.
So,
Antoine Jameson and Vince Carter played together.
so,
Okay.
so Jeff McInnes, you remember him?
yes.
Yeah.
And
I
Mac,
remember a
and
lot of
Mac-
that.
yeah, and Maktar Jai,
Yep.
Yep.
and
Serge Zwicker.
and Stackhouse and Wallace were in the same recruiting class coming out of Oak Hill. Rasheed wasn't on those, but the other three were on that team.
I just remember.
So-
I just remember when I was a kid. I went down to Daytona Beach, and
Oh,
somebody
he's from
said-
Kinston. What am I talking about? Stack's from Kinston.
Okay.
Oh, he's
I
in
think
state.
I think Vince Carter's from Daytona Beach.
He's from Ormond Beach, yes.
Right, because I went in. I was on the elevator. Some guy from New York. Where you guys from? From like North Carolina. Oh, Vince Carter. Vince Carter. He's from there right down here. Like he knew who Vince Carter was, so he was excited to tell me that. I couldn't remember whether those two played on the same team.
So in '95,
It was very close.
Stackhouse and Wallace were they got upset in the Final Four and they went pro after sophomore year.
Okay.
They got upset in the second round.
Yeah, the incoming freshman Tom was Carter and Jameson.
And Okalaja.
So your starting lineup could have been McInnes, Carter, Stackhouse, Jameson, and Wallace.
That would have been pretty good.
with
McInnes.
I said him with Ed Cota on the bench because he came in next year, and then Alcalaja on the bench too. So
Shamad Williams coming off the
like
bench.
you got the third best team in the ACC coming off the bench.
Yeah.
But you seriously could have had the greatest college basketball team maybe of all time with McInnes, Stackhouse, Carter, Jameson, Rasheed Wallace. What are you doing about that?
They lost their bit.
Could have been the greatest team ever, and that was a 5-year run, and no national championship with those players.
They lost their
and
big
Montross
three.
got them.
Yeah, they lost their big three, and then they replaced it with the big three. Pretty much. Yeah, it was.
Well, McInnes stayed and played.
That's right,
He
yeah.
played a year with Carter and them, and then he
Well,
when he
he
moved
had-
on, then Cota come in and threw all the alley oops.
McInnes had to run. He had other issues going on.
Yeah, him and Phil Ford are great friends.
Yeah,
It's just-
they're tight.
It just kind of all runs together. I mean, they had so many good players back in the '90s, man. They were so good
In the
back
'80s,
then.
I mean, what
Again,
the
though,
80s, yeah.
Anton Jameson is still the last Tar Heel player to average 20 points or make an All-Star team.
They just have
Nobody since Dean Smith has averaged in the NBA 20 points or made an
I mean,
NBA All-Star team.
seriously. I mean,
They just quit recruiting NBA players.
back in the '80s and '90s, man, people, kids dreamed about wearing that Carolina blue, and it's just
Now
it's
it's
just
Duke.
not what it was.
It's Duke.
Yes,
man.
it's not
I don't,
what it was.
listen, ESPN made a lot of what Duke and Alabama are. It will say that.
Yeah.
If there wasn't a Dick Vitale, would there
Yeah,
be?
that's
Would
who
there
I was
be?
thinking
If
about.
there wasn't a Duke Vitale, would there be a Duke?
Yeah, that's
That's a great point. I pull for he's
How much
coming up-
free advertising and recruiting have they gotten over the years?
how much have they puffed up? I mean, and it is arguably the best home court advantage in college basketball, but how much they marketed Cameron Indoor. I mean,
I think they blew it up to make it better or awesome than it was. Appalachia's got more seats than them.
well, I mean, the
We have
Ding
more
Dong-
seats. Ding Dom's a 22,000 seats.
But it makes it exclusive. That's what it does. I mean,
Well, it's
but
it's
Duke's
intimate.
all about exclusion.
It-
I mean, that's what.
it-
If they had real
intimate.
fans, they'd build a real stadium. Come on.
yeah.
I think they like it, and they like the students being right on top of the court.
They can't sell the tickets. Is what they can't.
And they got
People have to catch flights from New Jersey to come watch them. Chip. They can't sell all those home tickets. That's why the football stadium is
and
the
they
way
got
it is.
and they got a coach who they won't even show because he's cussing out players, cussing out refs, cussing out the other coach.
He's a sportsman of
then
the
he's
year.
on then he's on the sportsmanship video for the state of North Carolina. I was like, give me a break.
and he's still getting stat sheets during media timeout.
How does he not villainize like Bobby Knight? You know what I mean?
He
I
didn't-
mean, I guess he's not big enough to like
Choke
grab
anybody.
and choke
Yeah.
anybody, but
That's
I mean, how's he not villain? I mean, he's the same thing, demeaning,
I mean, if he could throw a
belittling,
couple chairs, he
vulgar
might be.
language. I mean, whatever.
I don't know if anybody's done a better job of showing their public persona as the complete opposite of what they really are.
Oh, you can see. I can remember the one time. I can't remember which coach he was, but you can hear him mouthing the
Yeah.
obscenities to the other coach. And then I can remember one time Carolina beat them, and I think a guy jumped up on the scores table, and Krzyzewski was acting like, "Oh, you wouldn't do that at Duke," and da da da. I was like, "Yeah, because you'd probably choke him or whatever." I mean, it's just so ridiculous. That guy is just such a fake. I can't stand it.
How bad college basketball is different than pro sports. Here's your 2024 Final Four NC State Wolfpack. Where are they now? DJ Burns in South Korea, DJ Horns in Germany, Mohamed Diarra is in France, and Casey Morsel's on TV as a TV analyst.
I'd love to know what
Wow.
Terry's take on all that.
He don't care. They got the Final Four. I remember watching that one of those games at a restaurant. Somebody walked up and said, "Go Diarrhea," talking about the State's player. Golly, I was like, "Yep, there you go." So, yeah.
I was kind of hoping Burns had the size that the NBA team would take a flyer on him. But
Not tall enough. Not tall enough to play post like he does. I mean, not in the NBA.
He got Sean May's disease.
What was he, like 6'4", something like that? I mean, just not big
He's
enough.
bigger than that.
He's taller than
6'7"ish.
that. Yeah,
He's like a
Was-
Barkley, like a Barkley
Yeah.
maybe.
I mean, he could be a 4.
Barkley's what, 6'5"? Was Barkley 6'5"?
Yeah, about, I think.
Barkley was 6'5", played like he was 6'10".
Oh my God.
Yes, yes,
I mean, that's one.
yes.
All right. Well, when we come back, we've got a lot to talk about. We've got the Super Bowl to start talking about a little bit. The AFC and NFC Championship games. We've got NBA, NFL, the Clash, and more coming up. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Now's the time to start thinking about the cold winter weather. Be ready with a stop in at Today's Pro in Shelby. They have the fireplace inserts that help make your home warm and comfortable. Take a look at the Malaysian and Empire inserts. And Today's Pro can do installs or repair your current inserts. Plus, they have vent-free freestanding stoves. And don't forget they can refill your propane tanks. That's Today's Pro, 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at todayspro.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
Why choose Kubota for your new compact tractor? All the options in the market can make the choice difficult, but don't lock yourself in before you've seen what Kubota can offer. We've been selling reliable tractors in the U.S. for over 50 years. Your Kubota dealer can help you select the right tractor at a price you can afford and then support your purchase after the sale. Stop by your dealer today for a tractor you can count on for years to come.
Your Kubota dealer in this area is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, Kings Mountain.
I work my tractors really hard. I get all they've got. I demand as much horsepower as they can possibly give me. I tell you what, I've had these Coyote tractors for probably 10 years now. They've served me well. Been good.
Your Coyote dealer is Weston Sales, Highway 18 North, the 27 West intersection in Vale.
Get more bang for your buck this fall with Buck Days at James River Equipment. Buy any new John Deere 1 through 4 Series tractor with a loader, and you'll receive your choice of a rear blade or a set of pallet forks for only $1. So whether you're leveling your driveway or doing some heavy lifting, James River can help you save big bucks. Visit jamesriverequipment.com/buckdays to learn more. Offer ends 11/30/23. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. James River delivers. Attention John Deere shoppers. James River Equipment's Blue Tag specials are going on now. Which means huge savings on compact and utility tractors, residential and commercial mowers, Gator utility vehicles, and more. Visit jamesriverequipment.com/bluetag for more.
Get up to $2,500 off MSRP on John Deere riding mowers, up to $3,000 off MSRP on John Deere commercial mowers, and up to $10,000 off MSRP on John Deere utility tractors. James River Equipment Company, Highway 180 North, Shelby. Tax time is here, and since 1961, AgControl Business Services in Gastonia has been serving this area with the best in income tax service. And you're dealing with IRS enrolled agents with over 120 years of combined experience. And get same-day service, and most returns are processed right while you wait. Get electronic filing too, and while there, shop Nest and Canvas Custom Jewelry. AgControl Business Services, 428 West Main Avenue in Gastonia. Call 704-864-8767. Open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 9 to 6. Call for Saturday hours. Closed on Sunday and Wednesday.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang.
Can I hear my,
There you
yeah,
go.
there we go.
Yeah.
All right, JP. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
It's time for a little NASCAR racing. Bowman Gray will be hosting the Clash.
I
And
think it's good. You know, Terry's not here because he doesn't really have a work ethic. But
hit computer.
I am happy that they're moving it back to North Carolina.
I
I
was
mean,
a
that's
little-
where it should be.
A little shocked Terry kind of poo-pooed this a little bit last time we brought it up.
He hates fun. Him and Tom, if you propose fun to them, they just hate it immediately without
not true.
Terry's waiting on the Coliseum race next year already.
Yeah, I'm just glad. I mean,
I think
however you feel about Snoop Dogg, he's not racing. Wow,
but he is Olympics, right? It's just
that's L.A.
No.
All right,
no,
so we got a little piece here talking about Bowman Graham. We'll play a little bit for everybody.
So who are some of the greats that you remember racing?
It's Jeff Burton.
I remember Richard
Talking to
Petty
David
starting his streak here. I remember Wendell Scott coming in, Rex White in that beautiful gold and white car, the red number 4 on it, Ned Jarrett being here. There's a list that when you look at the Hall of Fame that have come through Bowman Gray Stadium, it's like the who's who of NASCAR Hall of Fame racing that's been here.
The final event. How many of you think Burt Myers is going to pull off his 9th Grand Championship?
So this place is known as the Madhouse.
Bowman Gray Stadium. Best track around.
If you've ever been here on a full moon and just see the elements that can come out, you would understand why. I remember Bobby Allison, Curtis Turner, and something occurred during the race. Curtis spun Bobby out. Well, Bobby was never one to back down from anybody. And I think that's why he's one of the great champions.
Still today.
Still today. Well, the second time he spun him out, Bobby felt like that he needed to remind him that he was out there and that before the race was over, they're crossing the football field trying to ram each other. This is 1966. Now, it would be priceless to watch these two big Grand National cars going across the football field trying to wreck each other while the race was going on.
I think what's great about that is that we saw that happen here. We saw the same thing happen. And I think, that's what this racetrack offers, right? Is that it's so small. In the groove, it's one groove. There's only one place you want to be, and everybody fights for that groove. And people get very, very frustrated with each other, especially racing each other here every week, The frustration level has to be exceptionally high.
I think that's what adds to the excitement. The same token that you'll have these fans that are absolutely passionate to watch these cars go around. And let's face it, you and I both know it. Racing fans are some of the greatest fans of all time.
How big, Zach, of a wine fest are we going to see Kyle Busch once he gets wrecked in this race?
Maybe he'll go across the infield there.
It's only a quarter mile, isn't it?
Yeah, it looked really small.
It's
really
very
small.
It's very tiny.
And they had a so it's basically a high school track at a football stadium. They are complaining that there's not a lot of camping space in the infield. So where are all the drunk wagons going?
Oh, there's nothing in the infield.
I mean, they're going to clear the infield. Yeah,
it looked like a football
field. They're not even.
it.
So the cars did inspections at Charlotte.
Right, I heard that.
And then they'll drive their trucks over. Here's Kyle Petty with a little piece.
This place was built in 1937. It was a public works project. It's a football stadium that they race around, and they're still racing around it today. They call it the Madhouse now. It's a totally different vibe. When we were here, when my dad won races, there was no pit road. There was no infield. There was a football field, and they ran around it. They went outside turn 3. That's where they'd pit. They'd come back in turn 4. That's what they're going to do with the Clash. It is going to be a step back in history. It's going to be like watching the ghost of NASCAR run here when they run the Clash this year. This racetrack to NASCAR is just as historic as Daytona or the beach at Daytona or Darlington or any of the other racetracks that have lived this long to still be a part of the sport.
I mean, I've had the pleasure of going to one race at Bowman Gray.
Oh yeah.
And the Madhouse is right because I saw a fight that night that I went. He got rowdy, and they had to bring security out. He started driving his car through the football field.
Well, if you don't know, Petty Enterprises was sold, and they're Legacy Media. Jimmy Johnson became the majority owner this week. Richard, hanging out with the new Toyota gear, decided to update their logo for the company here. So
nice.
Richard,
how old is Richard?
He's got to be close to 80.
I just saw it on one of these posts.
He's over
actually,
80.
You think so?
He's over 80.
So he drew in the hat and threw a beard on it, some glasses.
87.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. 87.
He still looks good, though, man.
Hey, Tom, I know you know a vest will make a man look great, but you throw on some shades and a cowboy hat like that, you can live to 90.
Put a KTC vest on it, it'd be over.
It's just like, we all start, especially when you get around my age, you start thinking about, man, how long do I want to go? If I can still do like him, I think I still want to keep going. 87 years old, doing.
I still like.
He still looks like he's enjoying life.
I still like the Daytona when he would. Remember when he wouldn't come off the track? That's the funniest thing in the world. When he's running, he's like, "Y'all ain't pulling me off. How you gonna pull a king?"
I can remember his last. I watched his last race in '92, and I remember like he got out of the car. Didn't he get spun out and his car was on fire or something crazy? And he's yelling at the people like, "Don't worry about me. Put the car fire out or something like that." Can't remember, but. It's just he just keeps going, man. I think he looks younger than Kyle. I mean,
that's really good.
I think he looks younger than Kyle. Like, is that Kyle? Or
Tom
Richard?
needs to cut that, or Kyle needs to cut that hair.
Yeah, I know. I know. He always had long.
That ponytail is just not. It ain't what it was in his heyday.
Well, we actually that we brought up Kyle Petty. He's got a radio show that's going on our station here, 92.9, coming up. Starting this week, Friday afternoons at 3 o'clock. It's called Then Again Country Countdown. They pick a song and a countdown from the songs from that year. So there you go.
You had to ask Calvin if he ever got rid of a hat. Had to go find it before. Kyle Petty.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, my roommate in college was a huge Kyle Petty fan, but he also liked Dale Earnhardt. It was one of those things. But I think his dad grew up a Richard Petty fan, so that they pull for Kyle Petty. But Kyle.
There was in the late '80s. Kyle was a decent driver.
Yeah,
I mean, when he had the mellow yellow car,
I would say the mellow yellow car.
Never ever anything similar to his father.
After so long, I was working down here at Harris Teeter, and one of the friends he liked Kyle Petty, and this was after he'd never won anything like ever. Yeah. And I was like, he's just trying to pay his house payment, James. I said he's just riding around trying to get like 34th.
Yeah,
to get my check.
It's like similar to Dale Jr. They're some decent years, some decent races, but never as daddy. And it's just. I mean, even before you remember him driving the Peak 42 car, the Peak antifreeze. I remember that he was good back then.
All right, we'll take a break. We come back. We'll do baseball, NFL, NBA, and more coming up. KDCBroadcasting.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
Eyes on Joey Aycock on top of the flag stand. Green flag goes in the air.
Returns to its roots.
Oh, there's a big bunt. Chastain shoves Michael McDowell backwards and into the outside wall.
At Bowman Gray Stadium.
Trying to pull away from Kyle Busch, and it looks good as Busch wiggles off of turn 2. Hamlin's got the lead off turn 4.
It's the Cookout Clash at Bowman Gray.
Sunday, February 2nd at 5:30 on Carolina Country WCSL. 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
I'm Lon Helton, inviting you to join me as I count down the week's top 30 with my co-host Parmalee, who had a lot of fun on the road with Kane Brown.
Oh, yeah. A massive video game set up, and then if he's not doing that, he's playing beer pong or something. Like he's always playing.
Yeah. There's a lot of fun backstage.
Yeah. That's Parmalee this week on Country Countdown USA.
Wednesdays at 1 p.m. on WCSL 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, and ktcbroadcasting.com.
Let Lowe's Home Improvement in Lincoln be a part of your home improvement. House packages, flooring needs, roofing. Stop in at the Pro Desk and let their pros take care of you. Ask about the Lowe's MVP program, plus 12-month with no interest. Need to beautify your home? Check out their huge paint and primer supplies. It's all at Lowe's Home Improvement, 1603 East Main Street, Lincoln. Phone 704-748-9335.
This month's Scholar Athlete of the Month is Sarah Ryan of Lincoln High School. The award is sponsored by McDonald's, KTC Broadcasting, and WhatsUpShopper.com. Sarah is a senior at Lincoln High School and the daughter of Chris and Heather Ryan. Heather plays basketball and volleyball. She has a 4.72 grade point average. Her AP classes include literature, English, language, and composition, world history, psychology, human geography, U.S. history, pre-calculus, statistics, and communications. Her community activities include volunteering at Christian Ministries, Community Color Run 5K Volunteer, Special Olympics, Hesed House Volunteer, and Project Unity basketball games. She's a member of the Covenant Church, where she is involved in Sunday school. trunk or treat, and the community night of worship. After graduation, Sarah plans to attend a 4-year college and major in business. The Scholar Athlete of the Month recognizes the accomplishments in athletics and for overall achievements in the classroom and community. Sponsored by McDonald's, KTC Broadcasting, and WhatsUpShopper.com. The Lincoln Country Club has been challenging golfers since 1946 with tree-lined fairways, ponds, creeks, and sand bunkers. Select from 4 sets of tees to play from. Give them a call at 704-735-1382. Again, 704-735-1382. The Lincoln Country Club, 2052 Country Club Road in Lincoln. Visit their website at golflcc.com.
For over 60 years, Honda Motorcycles of Shelby has been serving this area, and they continue to do so today. Right now, you'll find a good inventory of dirt bikes, plus 150 and up to 450 models of on- and off-road bikes. See the new 2024 Honda Rebel, along with 4x4 ATVs and side-by-sides, including the Pioneer and the Talon, plus Gold Wings and Trikes. And don't forget about their parts and service department. That's Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, 4402 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at HondaMotorcyclesofShelby.com.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. We're going to see if we can get Brooke on the air.
We'll get her on in a minute, JP,
Okay.
but you can adjust the camera and or move your head or whatever.
There we go.
There we go. All right, see if her microphone's working now, JP. No, JP.
Okay, one.
Yeah, hit your button, JP. Now try it. There you go. Now
Yeah,
turn
there
it. Now
you
turn it
go.
up really
Yeah,
loud.
crank that volume up all.
We got to crank it up.
So you got to talk. You got to talk loud into the microphone, Brooke. Okay, you can't whisper in it. I know it's a microphone; it'll make it louder for you, but we only have so many limits on it. So you got to talk a little bit. So how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. So you go to Kings Mountain. Is that correct?
Yes, I do.
And you told me you want to be a journalism major, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you play any sports?
I do not.
You do not. Okay. This is a sports show, as you see. JP doesn't know anything about sports either, so you don't have to know anything to be able to do his job at all on the sports part of it. As far as the rest of it, I think you can handle it. But welcome to the show. So Ms. Brooke Robertson is going to join us for a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, and on the shows and the Monday through Wednesday show with Randy and Terry on that, and then she's going to help Tom and Chip on some of the basketball games as well, and maybe some baseball games coming up. But we did want to welcome her. And we're going to have her pushing buttons and doing some other stuff here in the next couple of weeks and actually doing a little bit of work. Just, Brooke, don't take all the notes from what JP's doing right now. So,
Brooke, do you go to any of the games? Do you go to the football games or basketball games or baseball? Do you do any of that?
I've been to some of the football games.
Football games? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a good season this year. I didn't know whether they're keeping up with basketball. They got a pretty good team, Kings Mountain does. Pretty good team over there.
Yeah.
Okay. So not a fan, though. Not a fan. Keep
all-
up with it.
that's all right.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
all right,
no
guys.
pressure.
Well, we're going to get over to the NBA, and this is the LA Clippers fans counting down Giannis's free throws. Zach, get to
Here
computer.
we go again.
2, 3, 4, 5. They've got signs up 14 across.
He missed it. He got upset last night when he saw
If
it.
you didn't know, there's a 10-second rule from when you touch the ball to actually
Well,
shoot the thing.
They were
They were
kind of
counting a little
kind of
quick.
fast, yeah.
They had 14 boards.
It was close to 10.
Pre-print. What if they got to like
I did not know
17?
there
Do
was
they have
I
more
didn't know there was
boards?
a 10-second rule, though.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why.
This
That's why
is-
people count. Yeah.
He's been on this over the years. Every once in a while, it just resurfaces. It's one of those things.
Giannis
that
is upset at
he
CP3
does.
right now.
Yeah.
If y'all hadn't saw.
Yeah.
Kind of had a pretty rough foul.
Did you see Ant called his daddy?
Oh my lord.
Huh? Anthony Edwards reached out to Michael Jordan this past week to talk about how to improve his decision makings and handle double teams.
Well,
Michael just split him.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking. So first of all, and people got to remember, like,
Don't get double teamed.
well, and here's one thing people forget about these kids. Like, most of them now, the good ones, didn't play college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you're taught either in high school or college what you're supposed to do with double teams, especially if you're the best player.
Yeah.
He's just probably out, like you just said, out athletic everybody and see what happens. And at this point, there's some athletic people out there in the NBA. So you're supposed to try to split it, obviously, and then pass out of it immediately and move the ball to someone else. But, do you want you want Michael passing the ball to Steve Kerr when he's open and a crucial part of the game? Maybe, but not like every freaking play.
Yeah.
So that's what Anthony's getting swamped with that. But that's where they're going with that stuff. So, yeah, that's exactly what I thought Zach was. He's just going to split it.
I just have a feeling that a lot of this other basketball, like these kids play AAU and stuff, all it is just we've got athletes. Just put them on the floor.
And try to out-3 you.
Coach scream and cuss out refs.
Correct.
And that's all it is.
Yep.
I mean, it's not really like teaching them fundamentals. That's why
that's what I was going to say.
That's the word.
That's why the European players come over
Yep.
and they're solid. Why
Yep.
why is Jokic so good? He can pass the ball. He
and that's-
sees the court. I mean, he's fundamentally
and that's
sound.
why you keep going back to the Larry Bird and all this other stuff. They said Bird would absolutely destroy today's NBA because he was so fundamentally sound. He didn't have to be that fast. He knew so much more. And
I understand if you're going to write a check, and I know that a lot of these parents write a check because I want my son to get exposure. I want him to be seen.
TikTok
and all that.
videos.
But is anybody coaching your kid?
Yeah.
And you could tell, like, I'm just saying, I watch a lot of high school basketball, and a lot of times, man, it's hard. These kids, they don't like to be coached hard.
No.
I mean, they don't like to be coached hard because, what are you talking about? I'm just going to I'm going to get a dunk and get it on my Instagram reel.
Yep.
Don't yell at me for missing a wide open play or missing a layup. They don't want to be coached hard.
Part of it's the
Right.
the society that we're in right
Right,
now,
don't
and
be coached hard.
the mentality of the athlete we're producing.
And if you do coach me hard, I'm gonna play on the other person's
Yes,
team.
that's it. They don't want to put up with it.
Shut down. They just shut down.
Yep.
And I mean,
that is a negative. As much as I've been an advocate of the transfer portal, that is a negative byproduct of it because it's just teaching young people. If I don't like what I'm getting, I just go somewhere else.
I'm never one of these that says go cuss the kid out if he dribbled it off his foot. Right. But I'm like, you can have some tough love every now and then to these kids. I don't mind telling the kid, look, man, we ran you a play, we got you a wide open layup, and you missed it. Come on, let's go. If you want the play, you want that basketball in that situation, you got to make the layup. But if you say that to that kid, that hurts my feelings. Hurt my feelings. I mean, it's just like, man, I coached for a long time. I wasn't I'm not saying I'm the best at it. I'm not even close. But it's just like I watch these other coaches trying to coach their kids hard, and it's just like they just shut down.
Another
put
thing
their head down, just can't take it.
In the day's time too, and we've talked about this in here before, is that level, talking about the AAU stuff, but we play pickup games all the time amongst ourselves,
Right.
and they're not getting that either. Where you're getting
They pick up these.
that's exactly that in the game.
I can't remember the last time I drove by someone that's just been driving out. When's the last time y'all saw kids playing basketball?
I mean, we used to be 3 or 4 teams deep.
Not even at the city park. I'm just talking about somebody's house, just randomly driving by.
I spent a lot of time in the driver's ed car, and it's almost like seeing a cell phone in a Western movie when I do see like 2 kids out there playing basketball, and I'm like, it makes me happy when I see kids riding bikes.
Yeah,
like when we were kids.
Oh yeah,
you rode bikes. I remember when there was only like 3 of us. We would flip a chair upside down, and if you hit the chair, it was a strike. You know what I mean? I mean, you did, even if there was only 3 of you. It's like if there's only 3 of us, you're the quarterback. He's going out for a pass. I'm going to play defense. And you just did stuff like that. And just now you wonder why. It's like, no, I just want to make a dunk, put it on my Instagram. I mean, that's all they want to do.
All right, Tom, I got to make fun of the Cavaliers a little bit. Not y'all. It's your broadcast.
They haven't called me.
The home team, the home team video broadcast of the Cavaliers basketball games.
I'm just gonna. I'm not that I'm the best. Some of it's really good, like the Ohio State guy's really good. He does football and basketball, but some of these NBA guys, I'm telling you, I listen to them. They're just not good, Kevin. I'm just telling you.
So this is see if you can figure out what's going on here on the TV. This is what the home team broadcast does for the fans. Y'all got it?
It can't be that simple.
Yes, it is that simple.
The diff?
Yeah.
Cleveland's leading by 2.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
They have a
Cleveland's-
graphic to do the simple math for the people that can't
Are
do
you
that.
kidding me right now?
Swear,
I was hoping it was having something to do with the spread.
They're raking them over the coals on this.
That would be even better to put the betting spread on. That'd be awesome.
It's got.
Hey,
it's
every
got-
time y'all got a shave,
It's just
guys.
got the lead. It's just got the math on the screen. The lead. It could have put the lead, the diff. So now you got to figure out what the
Wow.
diff is, not just differential or whatever. But
But what
whoever did this needs to be fired.
Well, I'm just telling you, the only math I do in civics, I think, is we do the 3/5 compromise, and you just take well, we got 100,000. What's 3/5 of 100,000? And you'll get like blank looks on your face, and then you gotta say, well, you get one rep for every 30,000. What's 100,000 divided by 3? What's 60,000 divided by 30? And they'll just, some of them can get it, but a lot of them just sit there. Can I use my phone for that? I mean, it's just, but it's not their fault. It's the way they've been taught.
Yeah.
So world class athlete. Chip, would you want to see Conor McGregor on the streets, on the mean streets? Huh?
I'd be afraid.
He's a tough guy, right?
Yeah, I'd be afraid. Just me walking by him would tick him off.
I want you guys to watch Conor McGregor here.
Isn't he in jail?
No, he's standing right there.
Not yet.
Okay.
The man he's standing in front of is sitting down.
Wow.
And about his height.
Yeah, he's
about head over. This is not the same species. These NBA players as these. Look at this. That's Brooke Lopez,
which is not one of the. He's big, but he's
not
like
7'2", but look
Yeah.
at look at this, like sitting next
What's
to.
funny is the guy in the back. Look at that grin he's got on his face.
But like, look at this.
When we used to go
What's
down,
what's McGregor's height? Somebody find that out.
I'd say
probably about
I'd say
5'2". He's not very
I was
big.
thinking 5'6", maybe.
He's
I'll
not
look it up.
No, he's a small guy.
But what's the big goofy guy? He played for
Bobin.
Marjanovic.
He's 5'8".
And he has.
I'm an inch taller than him.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what we would look like talking to Brooke Lopez.
He has like the best, like I say, the best time in warm-ups. But that is the largest human being I've ever seen.
Yeah, his hands are nuts.
I mean,
if you ever watch him,
but the other one, like I was with our estranged employee, our dog walking
Look at
employee
that.
who was seen, but
Look at his armpit.
When Porzingis walked by us,
he's
I
like
was like,
7'3", ain't
oh
he?
my God! I was like, man, that is a huge human being. Look at his neck.
He's got a crick in his neck, just looking at him in the eye. Look at that. Have you seen Shane Gillis' routine about Conor McGregor? It's not in depth, but it's just funny.
All right. The Warriors announced that they were retiring Andre Iguodala's number.
Yeah, I saw that this week.
Does that mean that they'll have to retire?
Please don't say it.
Clay, Draymond, Steph.
Yes.
Steph's
is getting retired.
Well, yeah, but who? Does everyone
Everyone on the championship
I guess
team?
I mean, that's what the Celtics did basically. and
Durant.
the Lakers, but
Durant.
that was my question. If the one-time Finals MVP, who? Wait a minute.
I don't know if I
who
feel
got the
about
Finals
that.
MVP for holding LeBron to a triple-double?
Talk about a great defensive effort he had.
Yeah, because they didn't want. So they didn't. It's the NBA and their narratives. They didn't want Steph having more Finals MVPs and all this stuff other than or winning them. So you got to give them to somebody else. They said Steph had a bad series and all of his numbers were up across the board. But again, does Durant get retired and stuff? He's a two-time Finals MVP and the leader of the championship team. So I can't wait for that to happen and see what goes on with that. Now, here's an interesting stat on Iguodala. He is the number one all-time team winning percentage when he plays in a game in NBA history.
He has played with the right people at the right time.
Andre Iguodala has won 75% of the games he's been on the floor in his career. Would you guys got any guesses for who is number 2 in NBA history
I was going to
in
guess
win percentage?
Big shot Robert Ory.
Nah.
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell is number 9 at 71%.
Got to be Michael Jordan's got to be somewhere.
Michael Jordan did not crack the top 20.
Wow.
Win percentage.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be somebody on them Warrior teams
Or
too.
well,
Nope.
No.
You have to think.
Well, it's not Russell, so it's not the Celtics.
Y'all surrounded around. You just hadn't got the right team yet. I don't know why you haven't yet.
Think about a Laker.
There you
Kobe.
go. There you know.
Kareem.
No. Kareem is number 20. Kobe didn't make the top 20. I will give a hint. You'll never guess. Kurt Rambis is number 10.
Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson.
Huh.
Is the number 2 all-time winningest basketball player in NBA
They
history.
had some good teams. In the
Michael
80s.
Cooper, number 3. Casey Jones and Tommy Hindsorn.
AC Green probably on there.
Are 4 and 5. Shaq is 6. Larry Bird is 7. Russell 9. Danny Ainge is number 11.
That's his time with the Celtics and the Suns.
He played on like 19 different teams, didn't he? North Carolina Tar Heel. Now here's y'all know my theory on the Spurs. 4 Spurs come in at 70%. And 5 Spurs come in at 70%. Danny Green, Tim Duncan, Bruce Bowen, Tony Parker, and Ginobili are all at 70%. Tied with Scottie Pippen and Sam Perkins. They're in the top. All those are tied at 12 in Kareem.
Jordan's first 2 or 3 seasons must have hurt him.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Well, that first season definitely, but
yeah,
30 games or something.
Well, there you go.
Half his team was coked up, man. Come on.
Yeah,
true.
I mean, that's not even a joke.
I mean,
So-
that's not an exaggeration. I mean,
it might help you in football. I don't know if it'll help you in basketball.
They learned about they all said they learned about 2 weeks into the season this young rookie was going to be the best player on the team. I mean,
what do you think about there? Danny Green there, 70%.
same as number 1. He was with the right people at the right time.
Andre Iguodala, there you go.
It's crazy.
I figured Magic would be up there somewhat, so he did. All right, breaking news. Federal prosecutors are investigating the Charlotte Hornets. Did Terry Rozier manipulate his performance as any part of an illegal betting scheme? Just one thing after another here at Charlotte Hornets, Tom.
And that's from the Wall Street Journal. That's pretty good source.
So I haven't read up on it, know exactly what's being accused, what they did, but we talked about NBA and Donahue and everything last week, and then the very next few days, out comes the Terry Rozier news that he may have been fixing games with the Hornets. So more fun with that. Tommy, we're almost in last place, but not as bad as the Washington Wizards.
The other night, Kevin.
They play each other Monday.
Yeah, the other night, there's the first time, they said first time in 20 years, they had the Hornets on Channel 9.
Yes. Yes. They have an agreement to broadcast 5 games for them this year.
Right.
The local channel now?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just 20 years since they've been on local TV.
Yep.
They used to be on WJZY all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because when Bob Johnson came in with the original with the Bobcats and named after himself, he wanted to go through the other back channels and go through the other stations, and it didn't get it like a local thing, anything acquired, and we don't have anything. At the best, shouldn't we have a streaming service?
Seemed like it should.
I mean,
to be able to see
is
all
it
the
not
games.
on Bally's?
NBA
Are
TV,
they not on
whatever.
Bally's?
It probably is.
This is insane. All right,
but we don't have like a local.
Back to the Rozier thing.
Yeah.
So this is while he was with Charlotte. He played with the Hornets for 4 years. His annual salary for those 4 years, 2019, 2020, $19.8 million. The next season, $18.9 million. The next season, $17.9 million. The next season, $21.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
What is he needing extra?
What's he gambling home?
What are you doing? I mean, good gracious.
Well, I think it's just you always want more thesis. It doesn't matter how much money you make. You always want more money. And, we all would be, I'd be satisfied with $500,000.
I think you were the one who said
one time. Just give me $500,000.
I pay my house off.
The coaches that do it once past 70 just blows my mind. Go home and enjoy what's the point of making all that money all your life if you're never going to enjoy it? And if you're just gonna sit there and watch a Duke basketball game and be a jerk, that's what I want to be today. That's what I'm gonna be today. I'm gonna be a little creepy, little rat face guy and go watch this basketball game and be a jerk to people.
I mean, that's as much a kid to him.
He can go there and everybody tell him how great he is.
Exactly,
and that's probably what it is. Oh, you're the greatest.
But to be fair, Dean did the same thing after he retired. He still stuck around. I mean, he would sit and watch practices.
Well, Dean didn't also stick around making $20 million a year or $10 million a year off a private university. Like he quit.
Yeah.
All right. They're talking about Steph Curry don't have no help, Zach. Well, dang it. They ran off Harrison Barnes, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson.
I'm sorry. I'm sitting in the seat. He learned his role. He learned what he's supposed to do.
They kept the enforcer.
They kept 7 points a game, and you're wondering why they can't score, Tom.
You're gonna have to work on the Terry impression.
If he doesn't,
needs a little work.
If he doesn't learn what he's supposed to do, he's gonna get destroyed.
Destroyed. Well, on account he ain't got no help. That's on account of management. That's what he'd
Sorry,
say.
Terry.
Stupid.
Sorry.
We know you're listening.
He's not.
I'm probably not this far.
I'm pulling my 7 points a game in here to fill in for
So Cleveland's only up 25.5 games on the Hornets.
Yeah, they
think we can catch them.
They lost 3 in a row.
We're 25.5 games behind.
Houston beat them twice, once by 1 and once by 3. And then I think Detroit or somebody beat them.
Look at that. The gap between Charlotte and number 1 is more than double the number of wins they have this year.
Look
at that.
Triple.
They were on
Triple.
They won like 6 out of 7 at one point, and then
the wheels came off.
Ball's out again with an ankle
Our
injury.
Achilles heel is we're never last where we have the best chance of getting the number 1 pick.
The NBA will never
probably
allow,
just good enough to get the third.
The NBA will never allow us to get the number 1 pick.
They never have. Yeah. That's why we always through all time went back and never got it.
Right now they're sitting with the.
Do you really think we had a chance to get Wemby that year? No, absolutely not.
Fourth best record, so they would not have a chance for the number 1 pick. Well, they would, but you don't get a guaranteed top 3 pick.
I think it's going to be competitive. Once you get it down to Oklahoma City, Houston, Boston, Cleveland, I think when they've played each other for the most part, it's been competitive games. I think from top to bottom, the West is better, but I think that at the top, I think we're in
East
for
is
some
top
good.
heavy.
Yeah, we're in for some good basketball at the end of the season.
I think you could probably just.
You know what's going to happen. You know.
Well, I was about to say you could probably just write down Cleveland and Boston in the East Finals, but like out West, you couldn't convince me. You convinced me anybody almost could make the West Finals.
Denver,
Yeah.
I think Minnesota. I know they're 7th.
They could get on a heater.
All the way down even to Dallas. What Dallas did last year.
Yep.
Well, let's say you're Oklahoma.
Would you want to play Kyrie and Luka in a series?
I know. I guess nobody's giving any credence to what I guess Houston's doing right now, as young as they are and everything. But like, you just looking down to the West. So in Denver, you got to deal with Jokic. Then you got LeBron and AD. Then you got Kawhi. Then you got Anthony Davis. Then you got Kevin Durant and whoever ends up on that team. Then you got Luka and Kyrie. And then Sacramento's kind of like Cleveland, but like
they just got a lot of
not
good
as
players.
good. But now they're whatchamacallit's asking for a trade.
And what if Phoenix gets Jimmy Butler?
So
one of them.
He might wreck it.
He's going to be in somebody's. Well, they can't. Tom, they're 11th.
I know.
You can't. What do you reckon?
But some of the things that Butler's done, I don't know.
I don't
want him on my team. I don't want him on my team.
I wouldn't bring him to like the.
I wouldn't sign him long term. Normally the first year you trade him, he's happy with the change of scenery. So,
some of these teams has got a lot of.
They're talking about Cleveland trading for him. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
no, you don't want that.
No, you don't want that. Y'all already have good chemistry.
Well, I'm going to shoot this out there for you. This was one of the things that people were talking about. Chet Holmgren.
Mm-hmm.
He's not been playing. He's been hurt.
Yep.
They've got a bunch of draft picks. And it was brought up, Butler, would OKC make a move? And there was another name that was brought up too, and I know everybody's going to shake their head on that, or Kevin Durant. Chet Holmgren, like 3 first-round picks for one of those two to add to your first-place team who hasn't needed Chet Holmgren, and now you're adding Butler or Kevin Durant to that team.
I think you mess SGA's chemistry up if you do that. I mean, I think you're playing with fire if you do that.
I mean, they could. I mean, I might be wrong about it, but I think a good destination for him would be the Knicks.
Who?
Jimmy Butler.
Oh,
Pat Riley might have some contacts back and forth with the Knicks. Throw him on a team like that. That would help. It wouldn't destroy. They're not an elite team. I wouldn't throw him on an elite team for no means.
I bet Minnesota would take him right now. Back.
He had a lot of problems over there, though.
Problems everywhere.
I know that, but I'm saying I don't know if he'll go back to where
it's not like
to Tom's point again. I would not want him long term. He just doesn't seem to be happy anywhere long term.
And
he's like a TO.
He's old.
If you're gonna,
he's like 36.
This is like the last run for him. If you're gonna have him do something.
I mean, I'm just saying, man. I just think that a lot of it's chemistry, not only on the court, locker room, everything, and this walking out of practice and all this other garbage that he does. I mean, I know that he's at one time he was an elite player. Is he still elite?
He's almost like Iggy
really?
was when he went to Golden State, right?
I'm just telling you, man. I just wouldn't want. Like on a Cleveland team, that Cleveland players all seem to like each other. Now you do have injuries, and like when you have a Jimmy Butler to fill in for somebody who could score, when Cleveland's had injury, but everybody has injuries.
Right.
So I don't know if you want to risk okay, well we're a little bit more injury proof now, but now our chemistry's messed up. Yep. I just don't like a player walking off the court during warm-ups. Because he's not starting,
right?
I just know.
It's an awfully big gamble to take.
Here's our NBA All-Star rosters. Eastern Conference starters back to East and West. Y'all like that? Finally, thank you.
Yeah. Well, they've had some nutty other stuff, didn't they?
They had LeBron pick teams, is what they've been doing. And
I couldn't remember. So we've got
Giannis, Jalen Brunson, and Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, and Karl Anthony Towns are your starters.
How much is Minnesota kicking themselves for trading Cat?
A lot, I think. Jaylen Brown, Pascal Siakam. I haven't heard his name all year. Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Tyler Hero is on it. Where is LaMelo not even on the team?
No.
They were having the fit about that.
He got voted. He's the third highest.
Yeah. They were having a fit about
You see what the players in the league think about him.
What was it? He did not get voted for them
because it's like 50% fan vote, but then it's like 30% players, 20% riders.
There is a percentage. I don't know exactly how it breaks down exactly.
The third place fan vote guard doesn't end up on the roster. What does that tell you about the media and about what his fellow players in the league think about him?
Well, I mean,
and he's injured again.
Not even talking specifically about him, but there was a time that we used to, correlate winning to this stuff too.
Right.
Like Tom, they've got, how many All-Stars?
At the count of 3.
Is Evan Mobley really the 12th best player in the East? No, but
he's pretty good, Kevin.
I didn't say he wasn't. I'm just saying he's not the 12th best player. Unless we're talking about LaMelo. Are you picking Mobley over LaMelo?
Now, if I would have said that, Kevin would have immediately pulled something on a computer and say, okay, name 11 players better than him or something.
Then who? Mobley? I probably could off the top of my head. Is what I'm saying.
Give me a minute.
I was saying that there was a this used to be how they do it. And a guy like Mobley gets it over a guy like LaMelo because his team is 12-40 and he's shooting it 25 times a game. What are we doing? Tyler Hero's averaging 24 a game.
If you ask me,
wonder how many shots he takes.
Do I want LaMelo Ball or Evan Mobley on my team? It's Mobley, and it's not even close. It's not even close. I want LaMelo on my team.
To be fair, Kevin, we've been talking about trading LaMelo the entire time we've had him.
But see, that's what they need to do. Trade him to a New York market or
trade to someone who will value him.
Right.
Who will overvalue that, and they can learn their hard lesson.
I will say,
let them deal with. We got a star. Why are we not winning? Why are we not helping LaMelo?
I will say I think LaMelo brings back a better return on investment in a trade than Evan Mobley.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. This is the most.
This is hot dog selling.
This is the most he'll ever be worth.
Yeah, right. Yes, he's peak right now.
So,
trade him.
So there's no at this age and at the points he's averaging a game and his popularity, it's either going to crash really bad at some point soon. Or it'll continue for a few years like it is, and let the Knicks or someone else handle it, and we're not going to do anything with it in Charlotte. So,
I would argue
trade it to OKC or whoever's got 5-6 extra picks.
I would argue his peak was 2 weeks ago before he busted his ankle up.
That too. So Tyler Hero averages 24 a game, right? Mm-hmm. And LaMelo averages 29, I think.
But how many shot attempts is
LaMelo takes 24. Tyler Hero takes 17 shots.
Look at that. I mean, it's
averages 24 on 17 shots.
Can you put the Western roster back up real quick?
Yeah.
You got This is like the problem with the Olympic team all over again. Now, okay, SGA and Jokic, okay, fine. This is a legacy starting lineup right here. I mean, you tell me you don't have guys on the coming off the bench you'd rather have starting than Steph.
No, because I don't know whoever the Penguin is down here.
You wouldn't want Ant starting though, and the Alien.
Who are we gonna start over?
I mean, I want SGA and Jokic in the lineup.
Look, I'm not a LeBron fan, but you gonna set him on the bench. you gonna set Steph Curry on the bench. You gonna set the 2-time MVP on the bench. Kevin Durant's averaging 27. Like
he's still a legit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who you putting in over him? That's the thing. Like,
scorers are like punchers. They're always going to score.
Like,
Does that make sense? If
Jaren Jackson and Jalen Williams walked in here, would you be able to tell them apart right now?
No.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know.
I bet you could tell Wemby apart from them.
Well, yeah. Yes, Wemby is. He's going to set the NBA record for blocks. That's not even be close.
He's still space.
I don't have a natural point guard in my lineup at this point because I would put Ant, AD, and Wemby on in the starting lineup.
They don't have a real point guard out in the West. It doesn't look like.
Well, Steph, but I mean,
but he's not a real point guard. That's he's really the two. He plays the two. Draymond runs the point on that team. He does. He sits at the top and runs that stupid offense where Curry runs around until he gets open.
Terry's favorite offense.
Well, that's what he does. He just stands there.
I don't know if you've seen it come out a couple weeks ago, but everybody likes to give Stockton a hard time. You know, about you talking about true point guards and stuff like that. And they had some of the older players that were like, I can't remember which ones it was. Now I want to say it was oh my goodness, I lost his name. He played for the Hornets.
Muggsy?
No. This was good gracious.
David Wesley, Anthony Mason, Bobby Fields.
No. This was oh my God, Steven Jackson. You remember Steven Jackson?
Yeah,
he was
played
talking
for
about.
Bobcats.
He was like, he was talking back and forth, and there was a couple with him. He was like, that dude would destroy you. Like he said, he didn't think he would. He would come to. He would absolutely destroy you.
He didn't play for 40 years for no reason.
I heard multiple people talk about it with Stockton.
When we come back, we're going to talk baseball and NFL. We got one special word for these folks out there in listener land.
Hey everyone, I am Tanya Harding, and I am on X. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Happy New Year. Join me there, and let's chat it up. Love you. God bless. Bye.
We'll be back in a minute. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Speed Queen, and Speed Queen. We just named the top 3 manufacturers of washers and dryers. It's all Speed Queen, and they're waiting for you at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center in Shelby. Top-load and front-load models to choose from. And just arrived, a big new shipment of Frigidaire, scratch and dented washers, dryers, refrigerators, freezers, and more. Don't wait. Come on in now to Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. On the right going down, on the left coming up. For 5 years, Final Plunge Plumbing has won the prestigious Community Choice Award for Gaston County. Final Plunge Plumbing is a full-service plumbing company offering water and sewer main repairs, water heater replacement, and repairs with names like Ream, State Select, Renai, and Navian. And they provide upfront pricing, so there's no surprise when you get your bill. First-time customers receive a 10% discount up to $500. Choose the best and take the plunge with Final Plunge Plumbing. Call 704-860-5889 or find them online at finalplunge.com.
Get a steal of a deal on a new steel from Boyd's Tire and Appliance on Main Street in Clover. For over 74 years, Boyd's Tire and Appliance has been serving this area with the finest in steel chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, and more. Gas and battery-powered tools, plus John Deere and Gravely zero-turn mowers, along with appliances, tires, and yes, a great supply of John Deere toys. That's Boyd's Tire and Appliance, 110 North Main Street in Clover, online at BoydTireandAppliance.com and see their page at What'sUpShopper.com. You could be our 2025 KTC Broadcasting Valentine, and you could be the winner of a $500 shopping spree at one of our local merchants, a dozen red roses, dinner for two, a gold bracelet, and a big box of Valentine candy. Register today at Marburger Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Highway 74 East in Shelby, at Butler's Tire on East King Street in Kings Mountain, at Gage Pool and Spawn, Union Road in Gastonia, at Sheila Sheds, Highway 150 East in Cherryville, at Parker Farm Service on Bessie Drive in Kings Mountain, at Ferguson Ace Hardware on Highway 150 East in Cherryville, at Dallas Express Pharmacy on Hoffman Street in Dallas, at Carfair Auto Sales on the Gastonia Bessemer City Road in Gastonia, at the Great Outdoors, Highway 150 East in Cherryville, and at Hillbillies Barbecue South Main Street in Lowell. The drawing will be held Friday, February 14th, Valentine's Day. Yes, you could be our 2025 Valentine's sweetheart. Also register at Webb Chemical and Paper Company on Highway 74 West in Shelby. Keep warm with a stop at This and That Trading Post in Dallas. They've just received a big shipment of fleece blankets for $10.25. Also, Tommy Bahama down pillows are $8.25. 6-piece bath sets are $11. And personal handy heaters wear around your neck for $13.25. This and That Trading Post has video car DVRs for $23.75. Floating hearts for Valentine's are $7. Lighting magnifying glasses are $3.50. And 1 gallon size of laundry scent beads are $13.50 at This and That Trading Post, 3857 Dallas High Shoals Road in Dallas, right across from the trade lot.
Be ready for Old Man Winter with a new carport from Acre Enterprises in Cherryville. Keep your vehicle protected and that windshield clean. And see them for your metal roofing. 3x12-foot metal, now available in dark blue, rustic red, white, charcoal, brown or black, and silver Gabaloon. And now just $30 per sheet. They will not be undersold on 40-year painted metal. Come see for yourself at Acre Enterprises, 1220 Shelby Highway 150 West in Cherryville, right across from Food Line. Online at acrecarports.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang.
I don't think Tom was ready for the Tanya Harding appearance on the Shock Joxx this morning.
I didn't recognize her. I didn't recognize her.
Brooke, do you have any idea who Tanya Harding is?
No, I have no
I was
idea.
fixing
no idea.
You'll remember when you're our age and you're like, man, I just felt like I was sitting in the studio. Now I'm like 50.
So I'm gonna let Tom. You think you can tell her about Tanya Harding?
Well, Tanya Harding was kind of the blue collar, the hard luck, girl. She was from Portland, Oregon,
Skater.
and Kerrigan's from Boston. She grew up around money and all that, but they had this skating rivalry. Okay,
Olympics,
Olympic skating,
figure skating.
Right, figure skating. And long story short, some thugs decided to take Kerrigan out to make sure Tanya Harding was the star of the Olympic
and Harding
team.
paid them.
And then Harding. It was never really clear what all the dots connected, but yeah, pretty much she paid thugs to go and try to break her ankle.
Her boyfriend was
Right,
her boyfriend was
right.
definitely tied
boyfriend was
to the
connected
hitman,
to it,
and then they found out she was involved.
So they come
Yeah.
crash her knee or whatever else right in the middle of the.
So basically, Brooke, this is, I know you have, you kids there are just the internet. Well, back then we didn't have the internet; it was TV. So whatever in the Olympics, and this was the biggest thing. Everybody was following it and checking out. So you followed who in America was actually, remember the Dan and Dan contest? These folks battled for these positions in the Olympics, and this became a big battle between these two famous figure skaters. Right. And then, like Tom said, she ends up hiring someone to hurt Nancy Kerrigan, her opponent.
And I remember during the Olympics,
her American opponent.
Her routine, during Harding's routine, she said her skate broke on her.
Yeah.
She quits in the middle of the routine goes to the judges in tears because her skate broke on her. And Tom describes it very well. Kerrigan was very much
she's the beauty queen. Yep. She's the sweetheart.
Tanya Harding is the anti-establishment kind of.
Well, when we say that, and let's say the reason why, and let's be clear about that. One of them's a northerner and the other one's a southerner. Yeah. So
she was from Portland, Oregon.
Who, Tanya?
Yeah.
She's not a upper
but she's not a southerner, Kevin.
So
she's rural.
There we go.
She's rural.
There we go.
And she grew up she had a hard home life. Parents split up. Yeah. She went through a whole lot.
She's not upper class at all.
Right. That's what I'm trying
to say.
Yeah. She's
here
not.
It is.
Yeah.
Here it is. Not. So the camera doesn't follow her, but then there you go. So what happened right there is somebody came and attacked her knee or calf, basically. Right as she walked through,
it was a fake security guard, one of her friends with a baton, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yep. Like a billy stick.
Cracked her shin.
Yeah.
And so she
recovered and was able to compete in the Olympics.
She got silver medal.
She got second. Yeah.
So right after coming off competing in the World Championships, I think
they were the big rivalry, and then I think Soviet or Russian Oksana Bayul came up and upset everybody and won the gold that year at the
that was the unified team.
That's right.
Yeah.
But think about how I mean, that was like, I think it's on NBC most of the time, but they sitting there, you're watching that, and you're like, is this really happening?
Yeah, right.
You know,
That was one of those unreal
nuts.
moments. Like, they saw it on camera.
All right, a little baseball time. This is how much money each team has spent the last 2 off seasons. Look at the Marlins.
Yeah, I went over to the other end.
$5 million.
Hey, I'm proud of the Pirates.
Wait a minute. Bill Belichick was just paid more money. Didn't he get like $10 million?
Yes.
Than the Twins and Marlins have spent in the last 2 off seasons.
They developed their talent, Kevin.
The National League spent $4.3 billion. The American League spent $1.6 billion. Mets and Dodgers, Giants, Arizona, all spent more than Chip's beloved Yankees. There's your top 5 though. Philly 6, Cubs 7, Toronto 8. You Braves fans, 19th, $84 million the last 2 years. Cardinals at 108 and didn't get us nothing. So
The Braves were smart. They locked up a lot of their talent already. They didn't. I mean,
they've done fantastic.
Yes, I love their
as
strategy.
far as their money
Yes.
situation.
We still going to be the 90s Braves. We only get 1 World Series out of
They're
the
going to
team.
be. They've got
Probably-
a lot of depth to replace on their pitching staff this year.
Probably because you got, but then again, Zach, would you not? You'd want those years again, don't you? To be competitive,
Absolutely.
at least have a chance, as
Absolutely.
opposed to like me and Terry sitting here not watching baseball for a whole year because
You don't have a chance.
what are we gonna watch? Nothing. I
don't understand why the Yankees and the Cardinals won't work out a deal to trade Arenado. I mean, the Cards want to get rid of him. The Yankees need a third baseman. It just makes too much sense. I don't understand why they can't work that out.
I don't want his deals being something's up with that.
Yes,
I don't know. It's just,
and I mean, Goldschmidt's already signed with the Yankees. They apparently get along really well. I mean, it makes too much sense. But I think that, and part of it, I think the Yankees are trying to find somebody to take Stroman's contract so that they can. It's kind of a salary neutral deal.
all right. I really don't have anything else on baseball. Do y'all got anything?
Well, not too much right now. Just
Pitchers
saw
and
the
catchers report.
The Indians are spending a little bit more money, so that kind of makes me happy because they were one of the super cheapos, and I know they were only $57 million on that list, but that's more than they have been spending.
I mean, 1
More than the
billion
Marlins.
or whatever
Yeah.
the top 2 was, doing.
The top 2
1-4 on
combined
1-2.
spent $2.5 billion just by themselves.
That's just crazy.
And then if you noticed on there, the Yankees was down there at like $270 million. That's not really a lot compared to the Dodgers and the Mets.
All right, guys, tonight, you ready?
Yeah.
6:30 p.m.
gonna be a-
Starting coverage at 5:30 here on KDC Broadcasting. North Carolina Tar Heels and the Duke Blue Devils are playing tonight.
They always play on Saturday.
Saturday, Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah, they one of the games is always on Saturday, and I've listened to some of the Carolina games on 101.5. I'm just telling you, man. I didn't realize how good Woody Durham was until I heard this new guy they got.
Jones Angel.
Woody Durham was so freaking good at calling him. I'm not even a Carolina fan. Never haven't been since high school, but he was just so good at basketball. Like it's like when I listen to him, it's like I want to be him and the guy who does Ohio State. Can't remember his name, but I just think they're so smooth and they just really paint the picture of what's going on. And no disrespect to the new guy. It's just like
Jones Angel. Yeah.
Man, you're just nowhere near as good as Woody. Didn't Woody have a kid? I mean, it's like, did Woody have a kid?
Yes, he did Wake Forest basketball.
Oh, he did Wake Forest? Okay. Yeah.
So the NASCAR Cookout Classic today is at 1:30 today here on KDC Broadcast. Tomorrow the Cookout Clash is at 5:30 p.m. here on 92.9. Monday, I don't have any sports. Tuesday, though, Tommy, we got Ashbrook at Crest on WHS.
That'll be Brent Pascoe and Jeff Jones. And big win. Just want to slide it in real quick, Kevin, that Crest prevailed against Hunter Huss last night. You know what? It's 5 out, right? It's a minute to go. It's 5 out. They spread the floor. Crest runs the play till they get a guy open on the baseline. Pettis, he scores, gets fouled. Okay, so Crest is up 2 with 13 seconds left to go. Hunter Huss coach gets a tag. He missed the and one. They hit both the technical free throws. They get the ball inbounds. They hit 2 more free throws. Ball game. You can't get a tech there. And I know that Coach Levine was like, he's a friend of mine. He shouldn't have got a tech. Da, 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 da. He's probably riding that official all night. And you know what, man? You got. How could you see? It was on the opposite end. It was on Crest's side in the second half. He's a good 50, 60 feet away from that, at least more. And he's over there screaming that he wants a foul on. I mean, that wasn't a foul. I mean, like, you just can't do that. But congratulations to Coach Levine. And it's close in the Big South. You got Ashbrook's undefeated in the conference, Crest with 2 conference losses, Kings Mountain with 2 conference losses, and they split. The Kings Mountain won the first. They might have split with Crest. No. They'll have the last game of the season will be Crest and Kings Mountain, and now Hunter Huss with 3 losses. So it's going to be hard to catch Ashbrook, but that number 2 seed's up for grab out of that Big South. And Crest 15-2, having a great year. You're 15-2, you might not win the conference.
Right.
Yeah,
that's saying something.
Ashbrook's good though, really good. And Robbie Wiggins texted me this morning. He was listening to the show. He goes like, "Well, what did Crest beat Hunter Huss?" He's coaching Hunter Huss. So there's your report.
Also Tuesday, Burns at Cherryville. We'll have that game on WCSL 92.9 FM if you're listening on this channel. Duke and Syracuse will be Wednesday at 6 o'clock. And then, that's about all I'm going to go on that from on my calendar. Maybe, let's see. Pittsburgh at North Carolina is next Saturday. Highland Tech at Cherryville is Friday. East Gaston at Shelby Friday, as well as for our broadcast on KTC coming up this week. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk NFL and more. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Hey parents, are you looking for school choice for your child? You'll find it in Gaston County Schools. Our magnet schools and academies focus on areas such as careers, academically gifted and college prep, healthcare and medical sciences, leadership, science, technology and engineering, and the performing arts. Visit the Gaston County Schools website for information about our magnet schools and academies. The deadline to submit an application is March 21st.
It's Country Gold with Steve Harmon.
Thursday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, and online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
Get a steal of a deal on a new steel from Boyd's Tire and Appliance on Main Street in Clover. For over 74 years, Boyd's Tire and Appliance has been serving this area with the finest in steel chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, and more. Gas and battery-powered tools, plus John Deere and Gravely zero-turn mowers, along with appliances, tires, and yes, a great supply of John Deere toys. That's Boyd's Tire and Appliance, 110 North Main Street in Clover, online at BoydTireandAppliance.com, and see their page at WhatsUpShopper.com.
Hi folks, this is Buddy Cheney, owner of ProMotion Motor Company. 2025, it's a new year and a new you, and ProMotion Motor Company would like to help you start your new year out with a quality pre-owned vehicle. Sports cars, SUVs, vans, Jeep Wranglers, and pickup trucks. We keep over 80 vehicles in our inventory at all times. ProMotion Motor Company has been serving Lincoln County and surrounding counties for 25 years. First-time buyers, good credit, bad credit, no credit, and on-lot financing are available. We will get you financed, so give us a try. So come on down to ProMotion Motor Company, located at 2527 East Main Street, Lincoln, or call us at 704-735-0303 or apply online at www.promotionmotors.com.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it.
Get the Ford Power Promise at Tyndall Ford Roush in Gastonia. You get the electric vehicle promise from day one. Get a free complimentary Ford home charger with standard installation and 24/7 live support. And for Superpower, remember Tyndall Ford Roush is the world's premier Roush dealer, selling more than anyone since 2015. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years. Tyndall Ford Roush, 1901 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia, online at TyndallFord.com. Now you can see what's going on by calling Heath Jackson Plumbing in Cherryville. Ask about the rigid camera system. You, the customer, can actually see what's going on with your sewage drain lines and what's got to be done. And be sure to ask about their tankless water heaters, serviced or installed. Call 704-634-5784 for Heath Jackson Plumbing in Cherryville. Like them on Facebook, too.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin.
So what was that?
Yeah.
Saturday Morning Sports. Schwartz.
You
May the Schwartz-
you had 3 minutes to get ready to say that.
May the Schwartz be with you, buddy.
He don't know what that means either.
He should. That's right up his alley.
He's not that.
Well, have you seen the shirt?
That's not what he said, JP.
I know that's not what he said, but still.
I'm just no. He there's no way he knows that one there. Chip, I'm gonna go on a big limb on that one. All right, NFL. So, got a lot of stuff to go over. So this is gonna be a little fun. We're gonna jump around here on this and that. We'll talk the Cowboys and their decisions with Terry when he's around. How about we'll put it that way? Yeah. So a couple of things. One pet peeve of mine, and a couple of things in NFL and football. I think the NFL especially needs to fix. First of all, NFL, we've talked about it before, or NFL, we've got these personal fouls where everybody just fights each other and we throw flags and there's no penalties, there's no nothing that happens. It's just that we just pretend it didn't happen. Like everybody wants fighting, like in hockey, and I'm like, we technically already have it. Yeah. Because then nobody gets penalized. Two people slap each other, fight each other, they just throw two flags and nothing happened. Offset penalties. We've got to have a penalty box for these 15-yard flags. We've got to take out the sliding for these quarterbacks and quit worrying about that. We need to play some football and start hitting some people. Marlon Humphrey trying to find this. His fines for the other day's game ended up reducing his game paycheck to $480.
Oh my gosh.
And he commented, that's probably going to be $232 after the tax.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So
can't you appeal that though?
You can.
But you can get fined for appealing it, basically.
Right. He's the one guy got he got fined for comments and didn't even make the comments, and then he commented on that and got fined for making the comments. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out. Let's see. I'm gonna find the exact. Trying to find the exact play if I can find it. Marlon Humphrey, $45,000 for unnecessary roughness. Here we go. I guess he's the DB coming in here while Allen's going down.
He's trying to hit him with the shoulder.
Mm-hmm. And you can't help when somebody else puts their head down too.
Here's the thing as well. Again, the referees have flags. We have rules and penalties, right? Why is it that if I hold somebody, I don't get fined? But if I am a defensive player, I can get fined for all kinds of things. Even if you're an offensive lineman and a defensive guy runs back, you can grab him by the face, smack, and slam him on the ground. You're not going to get fined. But defensive players lose their game checks. Again, the penalty box will have fixed this, because when you take players off the field, now the coaches are going to be mad.
And
the teams are going to be mad. If you look over and see Deion Sanders in the third quarter not playing because he got a personal foul, as opposed to, well, he lost $25,000. Let the guy take his game check home.
Let's just say he gets pulled out of the game. Let's just make them go with one less defender.
Well, I don't want to do that because it'd be touchdowns all day. You can't do that. That would change the game. Hockey does it. I get, they got their little goalie back there keeping it. Does soccer go offset like that, Tom?
Yeah, if you get your second yellow, like in FIFA, if you get a yellow, it's just a warning. Your second yellow, you're out. You play a man down. High school, second yellow, you play a man down. But it's more like what you're talking about. The first yellow is a send-off, what we call it. So, yes, Kevin, you'd have to, but you can immediately replace, like, he comes out, he can go in the next.
Right, that's what I want. Bring in the backup guard or the quarterback or whoever it is.
You don't want to.
But you can't play the rest of this quarter, half, whatever the rule is.
You don't want a number disadvantage. You just don't want the player themselves to be able to. Yeah.
And then you're sitting there with Dez Bryant on the sidelines. Speaking of Dez, he got. Tom, we talk about how people don't know who people are and things nowadays. Dez has been in a Twitter argument with not even Micah. That was last week. This week is Thibodeau. Is that his name from the Giants? A defensive lineman.
Yeah.
Well, it got to the point. It got to the point where Dez was like, "You're not even getting re-signed, dude. No, you're 77 rating on Madden. Nobody knows who you are." And the guy was like coming at Dez like he's nobody. He's not as good as these people. And I'm like, he's like, I'm a Pro Bowl, maybe Hall of Famer, and you're getting cut. What are you talking about? Like the disrespect for just Dez Bryant from some of these guys that aren't even like real dudes in this is just crazy. But that's funny that Dez was brought up that the catch and everything this week.
Well, it goes back
after Kansas City got to bounce one off the ground and catch it. Dez switched hands and reached for the touchdown, and they said he didn't catch it.
Yeah.
So he was all over with that.
His play was really a watershed moment for the whole what's the catch.
Chip, that play, it's not even the catch thing. There's no Dak Prescott if that's a touchdown.
Right.
He's not I don't know what team he's on, but he's not drafted by the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
That we're not talking about 30 years of NFC Championship drought. That was to go to the championship.
Yeah.
And that's what that was. The same thing with the Romo drop on the extra point.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about the series before. Terry Glenn fumbled on the 2-yard line and gave them a free touchdown. That drive was supposed to be DeMarco Murray running the clock out, and Terry Glenn fumbles on the 2-yard line. He just gives them a free touchdown, and then nobody ever talks about that. So there's that call, him not catching that. Romo, Dak, still 30 years of all on that call right there.
Yeah.
So that one that's crazy. But it's like the Caitlin Clark thing last week. That's why Carson Beck's in Miami, because Caitlin Clark hit some threes on some chick in Iowa. That one's going to get me forever. Yeah, that's why I'm here. Now, Zach, did you hear the Cam Newton news this week?
Which one? He's always in it.
He was asked.
Oh, yeah.
Would he? We'll just let Stephen A. Zach hit the button.
You got a former league MVP right here on the set right now in Cam. I ask you, Cam, if you could give back that league MVP for a Super Bowl championship, would you do it?
No.
Oh.
That's everything you need to know.
Really?
Why?
Everything you need to know.
That's Cam Newton in a nutshell.
Through this lens, that was a very journalistic viewpoint or vantage point or response, Stephen A. I'll ask you this question, and just to pose this thought: what's more important, impact or championships? You look at a guy like Allen Iverson, or you stood up on the table and blah 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 blah.
Your TikTok
Everybody's not going to be Michael Jordan. Everybody's not going to be Patrick Mahomes. Everybody's not going to be these individuals who have the luxury of saying, hey, I not only dominated this sport, but I also have championships to back it. Like, let me remind you, Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and you didn't.
Respectfully, Nick Foles won a Super Bowl. So, yes, when you look at those guys and you say, okay, what's more important? Would you have preferred to win a Super Bowl? I think that's the humble approach, but if we're being honest, the impact of you holding yourself accountable to say everybody has a responsibility to do. And you can say as an MVP award winner or an All-American, you've held yourself or you've held your end of the bargain down. And that's what it really comes down to for me. I know that's not the popular pick. I'm trying to be popularized. But my take is I'm taking individual success because I did my job. Football is not about one guy trying to do 11 jobs. It's 11 guys doing one job. And if everybody does their job best, famous words of our coach Belichick, just do your job.
I like the hat. That's cute.
11 jobs.
Hold on.
It's 11
I gotta pause
guys
this.
doing one job. And if everybody...
So this is how McCourty was looking at him the whole time, by the way. All right, a couple of quick things. I'll kick it over to you guys. Zach, you mentioned that's why he didn't jump on the ball in the Super Bowl. That's exactly why he didn't jump on the ball in the Super Bowl. The problem I had with Cam, more than anything, and he still hasn't realized it, is as a quarterback, you're supposed to be the leader of the team and the leader of men.
That's it.
So when you, and this is what we talk about with the point guards, when you dribble up the court and just jack up a three, your teammates don't want to be with you like that. The problem I had with Cam was the first down dances. If a wide receiver gets a first down and points, he catches 5, 6, 7 balls a game. Have your fun, be whatever you are. The quarterback's job on every possession is to score points. Why are you dancing before you've scored points? So the first down thing always aggravated me as a quarterback thing, not a Cam thing. I don't want to see any quarterback celebrate. Have you ever, and think about it, guys, have you ever, besides, like some random scramble and they got it, but have you ever seen a quarterback throw a first down and then point, first down? Have you ever? Think about it in your head. And so that to me was when you're doing the first down dances and pointing and stuff that you're not really, think about it. You did a first down dance at the 50 and then you turn the ball over on the next 3 or 4 plays later or turn it over on downs. So what was you dancing? What did you dance for? And so I think that's where he never got. And he's talking about the individual stuff, the Iverson stuff. And I know Iverson was trying to win a championship, obviously, and we all know that. But like, I don't get where. And I guess I guess I'm getting, but sitting there in that big old hat, looking like Yosemite Sam, talking about like. And the Brad Johnson, the Trent Dilfers, do you think any of them would trade their Super Bowl for an MVP? So that's Zach. You're the Panthers fan on this. That was your guy all the years, and that's kind of from my take is that's what I saw all the years. That man, is he ever going to give credit to that defense or the Steven Jacksons, the D'Angelo Williams, or whoever Stephen Davis and everybody else in the world, Jonathan Stewart's? First off,
Stephen A is probably thinking you are. What are you talking about? I should ask you that question before we got on air. Because you see their faces, they're like, "This ain't going." They were all like, "This ain't going well." And the second
they
thing
all
is,
expected him to say, "Oh,
yeah,
of course, yeah."
And then the second thing is, and it goes back to your Romo point, Kevin. It costs things happen, and it costs teams. And Steve Smith, excuse me, was not a Panther because of Cam Newton.
Mm-hmm.
So because they had leadership problems. Remember that whole fight and everything else, and we lost arguably our best player ever, other than Peppers. So I was never a big Cam fan. So
what's not to love?
Well, Kevin,
he was concerned about him winning that MVP.
Here's why. I didn't think we could win for the same thing. Kevin don't think point guards that score can win. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
The quarterback style that we had and the way that we won, I didn't think that we could take it all the way.
Well, there's a metric, and I don't know that I don't know it off the top of my head, where no team has won a Super Bowl with a quarterback having a certain percentage of the team's yardage, and most of these running quarterbacks, it's basically 400 yards. And once you've crossed that, and these guys are running for way over that, then none of these guys have ever won it. So there's a thin line between running the ball from the quarterback position
and. If anybody could break that formula, potentially it was Cam or like Josh. Because
Allen,
to Terry's point
Jackson.
last week, they are two of those types of quarterbacks that could dish the punishment back out.
Cam's problem is he threw off his back foot and the ball was high all the time.
Cam's problem was just he's not a good thrower. He's just not. He was just not accurate.
Not accurate at all.
And he would leave some over the middle of the field.
He was a very
get
unorthodox
intercepted.
thrower. He's a great athlete, and he's able to put zip on the ball. Had great.
So Tom, do you think he's going to be upset? And I think how entitled is Cam right now?
He thinks he's a Hall of Famer.
Well, that's what I was about to say.
He thinks he should be in the league.
That's what I was about to say. I don't think he realizes that he might not be in the Hall of Fame.
There's no way he is
going to be
There's
in
no
the Hall
way.
of Fame.
Like if Randall Cunningham's not in the Hall of Fame,
that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
And say what you want about Vic and the dog stuff, but if neither one of those two are in the Hall of Fame for what they did on the field, I'm not sure what Cam's argument is that he did other than voted MVP. Randall went 15-1 and is way better thrower. He's got more rushing yards.
I think
Cam's got more touchdowns.
Losing record.
Cam's got the touchdown argument because he stole touchdowns like Josh Allen did when they get to the 2, or Jalen Hurts steals them from Saquon Barkley when he gets to the 1 yard. Do you think Do you think Emmitt Smith would allow them to do tush pushes?
No, he's going to
let
Troy 28
Troy
touchdowns.
Aikman was an option quarterback. People don't remember in college before he went to
D'Angelo Williams
UCLA.
and Jonathan Stewart were doing their job by letting Cam get those 2
They
yards.
both got 1,000. That's what I'm saying. They would get down there to the 10 or 15, 5. Like Cam's got the most rushing yards, but his average, touchdowns. But his average touchdowns are like, I think 2 yards, and like Vic's and them were like 5 yards.
Well,
so that's a big difference.
You alluded to it as well, Kevin, and this is. Cam just shows his ignorance in the lack of his understanding of the holistic responsibility of a quarterback in being a leader of a team and making sure the other 10 guys on your offense are doing your job. It's not just about you getting your stats.
And remember the post game after the Super Bowl.
It's absurd.
You remember the post game after the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
that is the telltale sign.
That is the compare that when he did that, and my sister at the time actually was put a post up complaining about him, and I shared a quote, different sport obviously, but I shared a quote from Jack Nicklaus the year that he lost his Grand Slam attempt at the British Open, and he went in for his interview. He answered every question the media had, and he was heartbroken. And Lee Trevino had come from behind to beat him, and he answered every question. He said, when I got up to leave, everybody in the media stood up and gave me a standing ovation. He said, that really said something to me. That's the difference in somebody who can stand up and own being a leader versus someone who I'm going to get mine and get my MVP, and that's all I care about.
So,
sounds like a diva wide receiver.
You're right. So for years,
and looks like one too.
Yeah.
So for years we've talked about defense wins Super Bowl championships. So only I think 5 of the Super Bowls have been won by defense that was not a top 10 defense. We talk about, and here's the thing that gets me, and we talked a little bit about last week, and I showed you guys that a percentage of the reasons one of the teams lost, and they didn't talk about the defense at all. And then Buffalo this week, and they're talking about the drop play, the drop passes and everything, and they're not talking about the defensive all, and the defense gave up 30-some points. Josh Allen's 0-4 against the Chiefs in the playoffs. In those 4 games, the Bills have averaged 28 points. NFL average is 24. His defense has given up 38, 42, 27, and 32 in those games. Yeah. So the narrative and everything will be talking on TV. Well, Josh Allen can't win. Josh Allen can't do this. And it's his defense giving up 30-something points a game.
Is it not the same thing that they blame Matt Ryan for losing the Super Bowl?
Correct. Up 28-3, and it's Matt Ryan's fault.
Or Dan Marino never winning a Super Bowl. I mean.
All right, this is a catch. Here's Dez talking about the catch.
Is it not? I can't. Oh, I've got.
You got what?
It's on.
I was actually listening to the radio. I didn't.
I thought it had audio. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's not a catch. You can see it. That's not a catch.
No, because the tip of the ball hits the ground.
And I could see it because you can't completely.
Is this Romo?
Yeah.
Say no, but that ball hits.
No, you can't.
I don't know if you have possession for it. Gene?
The other thing you're saying is Worthy's pinning it there. Now, when it comes down and it makes contact with the ground, does the ball move enough?
That's
nobody
has.
That's
an incomplete pass. That angle's not even close.
That's an incomplete pass.
I thought we stopped talking about pinning the ball and all that a long time ago. That's what I'm saying. They make it up as they go. Yeah. It's just frustrating for some of the fans.
I picked the Chiefs to win, and that's an incomplete pass.
All right, here's how you pick who's going to win the Super Bowl. Are you ready? Tom hates these. According to this metric, the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. In this century, every time the Super Bowl has been played between 2 teams with one traveling east and one traveling west, the team traveling west has won every Super Bowl. This year, Kansas City traveling east, Philadelphia traveling west. Bet on the team traveling west.
Couldn't you arguably say that Kansas City's traveling south?
I don't know.
Southwest.
Tom, how you feel about that one? Make you feel good about betting on the Eagles?
You nailed it. That's stupid. I mean,
I just want
tell me how you really feel.
You nailed it.
Like, here's the thing. Tom, you say that's stupid.
It is.
But we have hours and hours of video of 4 yahoos sitting at this table acting like we're experts predicting these games, and JP will outperform some of us. So using a metric like this, to me, is way more reliable than listening to us talk about it.
Wait till March Madness comes out and Johnny Bracket's in there in the studio.
Kevin just says this is analytics.
I have never acted like an expert on this. Number 2, I just think stuff like this is stupid. I'll have like a hunch. I'll have like after that.
Hunch is not stupid. I got facts, Tom. I got data points.
Analytics.
I know.
Sabermetrics.
These analytics are going.
Analytics says 1 to 5 times you go for it right here.
There's no way. I'd have to see on the map. St. Louis has to be just about dead north of New Orleans.
Pretty close to that, Tom. That's about.
Well, I mean, close.
They're probably calling it like this.
But yeah, look, Oakland is due north of San Diego. No, get out. No. No.
What do you mean, no? You don't know how maps work?
No. Pull it up. Pull up a map of California. Pull it up.
California map.
Pull up a California map.
I'm trying to.
And let's go Oakland to San Diego. And I will
Yeah,
show
it's
you.
southeast.
No, put it up there.
Yes, it is.
Put it up there.
I can tell you who we won't ask
Okay.
about maps is my wife.
So that's San Francisco's right there. I
Yeah.
mean, it's slightly
Southeast.
but it is definitely.
It's still east, Tom. All right, Tom, let me ask you this.
That's not much different than Kansas City.
No, watch this, Tom. What road do you take to Charlotte? What's the interstate called?
I know what it's called, Kevin.
85 what? 85 what?
I know
Which
what
direction?
It's called.
85 what?
It's called 85 North.
Now, which
to
direction are you
Charlotte.
going, actually,
I'm
when you're on
actually
85
going
North?
East.
Thank you.
What's that got to do with anything?
That's east. San Diego is east of Oakland.
Okay.
Don't make me pull out the longitude lines.
I'm not saying it's not, but it's not very much to the east, okay?
Now.
And then if you've got New Orleans and then go straight up to Missouri, over there, you don't know where Missouri is.
No, the map's
It's
moving
over there.
moving like a globe and not like moving like it's a map. Why is the map moving?
So that's almost north south, and then Missouri and
I would be curious where St.
Louisiana.
Louis
Look
is.
at Missouri and Louisiana. I mean, it's basically
I bet
straight line.
I bet Brooke didn't know
you
we were going to do a geography lesson here when she
because
came in
both
today.
are on the Mississippi River.
Right, and the Mississippi goes not straight north. It goes slightly east.
That's, I mean, it's garbage. You're just, you're just hot garbage.
Golly.
Pull up this crap on the show every week. I mean, it's just, man, every week it's just like, what BS am I walking into today? Last week, Zach, he asked me something about 1880s presidency just so he could prove that I didn't
Harrison,
know.
was it Harrison?
And
You
I
got
knew
it.
it.
Got
He
it.
was
Got it.
dead on.
Got it.
I knew
It was
that.
like Harrison,
I asked
wasn't
him
it?
because I knew you
sits-
might know.
He sits around all week and tries to figure out something you won't know so he can embarrass you on the air. That's what he does every single week.
All I did, you're challenging the eastern westernness of the does the Mississippi
he's
run
the Gargamel from the Smurfs.
does the Mississippi run east? Like, what are you talking about here? I
Then
can't
when he
find
gets it right,
I
Papa
can't find a
Phil's
map.
solid.
I'm trying to find a map with like the major cities on it, and I can't. This wouldn't be. I thought it'd be easier than this.
Because it's just about St. Louis is on the east side.
West side.
Listen, see, some of these maps are dangerous because they teach people like my wife where things are
You have
not
to
really
You have to
at.
right. You have to cross the river to get to the arch.
The east side of Missouri, Kevin. The eastern side of
I
Missouri.
know. What I'm saying, you have to cross over the river. The city's on the
Right.
west side of the bank.
Okay, but it's on the east side of Missouri, and that's where the river is. And if you go just about straight down, I mean, it's about due north.
Just about, but not. But it's still east.
So everybody that's
There's no such thing as straight south.
anybody that's driven from New Orleans to Missouri or vice versa says, "Okay, we're heading east and west." No,
They're taking 85 east is what they're probably taking, like they do in North
There
Carolina.
it is. There's St. Louis.
I don't know where you
Yeah,
find a map of
It's
it.
almost straight down. Look at that. It's so slightly east.
The western part of New Orleans might be more west than St. Louis.
All right.
It doesn't matter. It's a stupid statistic.
This is what we're going to base our decisioning on, right?
We're arguing about it.
Tom will argue longitudes over whether or not these western.
No, I'm not. I'm not. But I'm just saying it's significantly. Both those two examples are pretty much north south, not east.
I can hear tell you right now. Just admit it, Tom. It's west.
All right, Tom. All right, Tom. I've got it for you. St. Louis is 90.2 degrees west longitude. If you travel 1 degree east, you'll get to New Orleans at 89 degrees longitude. The stat is correct.
And the absurdity of this
The
argument.
French Quarter's really close to look. 90.06.
We were good until Tom. You just said, "Well, I don't believe it's east." So I had to prove it was east. To pull up the longitude lines.
I said it's much more north and south, and you know
that's
that.
true too.
You know it, so it doesn't matter. I mean,
if the Eagles lose the Super Bowl, they will have, in the franchise's history since 1933, 666 wins and 666 losses. Zach,
500.
Comment on the Eagles.
Mark of the beast.
And their 666 wins.
Mark of the beast, wins and losses.
Jeez, that is bad.
Jerry Jones. We're going to make one comment just to laugh this one without Terry. Jerry Jones said he called Steve Spurrier to ask what kind of a ball player Brian Schottenheimer was at the University of Florida.
What the?
That was in the 90s. When that dude. No. That was when Schottenheimer played.
He called him recently?
He seriously called him about the hire and asked him what kind of a ball player he was before he hired him to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Can't make this stuff up. How about
Jerry should hire Cam Newton as head
how about the
coach.
new coach in Jacksonville?
And that's really what this is going to come down to is honesty. I
Let the Tampa Bay guy.
surround ourselves with people that are going to be able to tell you hard truths, be able to show you your blind spots, because that's really, like I mentioned, where growth occurs, when you can truly be yourself and be honest with looking in the mirror, knowing that that process to get you there was clean and it was right, and the results will speak for themselves.
By the way, sir, your cell phone's ringing. Tampa Bay, you have 20 missed calls from Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's the Jacksonville Jaguars coach who didn't.
Wow.
Hold on, ready?
Who didn't what?
He didn't answer their calls.
He was leaving them.
He went
to go coach them.
He went to interview for Jacksonville, and he withdrew his name, and Tampa Bay offered him to be one of the highest paid coordinators in football. Okay. And then Jacksonville's GM was let go, and so he put his name back in the running.
Oh.
And then when Tampa Bay was trying to get in touch with him to finalize their deal, he wouldn't call him back.
He wasn't answering their calls.
He their agent wouldn't call him back.
He wants everybody to be honest.
Then he's talking about honesty.
Duval.
What?
Duval.
So what happened? Where'd Dougie P end up?
Couch.
Yeah, right now he's not anywhere right now.
He'll get somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, the Browns are looking for an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He'll get somewhere. I think he's a good coach.
The Browns are looking for an offense.
No, wait, no. Wait a minute. No, Tommy Reese got that job. That's right. I forgot.
How about a Torrey Holt story?
All right.
Torrey Holt? Was he on our team?
Remember he retired on the conditioning test with the zigs?
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry, Tori. I'm sorry, but I got to tell the story. We were on our conditioning test just to come back right before.
Yeah.
And he was wearing those Reebok zigs. Conditioning test 2060. Pretty easy.
It's not too bad. Yeah.
It's not too.
Yeah.
For receivers, we got to run.
Yeah, you guys run.
We get to rep number 4. He takes his shorts off. Rep number 5, shirts. Rep number 6, he looks down and he says, "Don't do this to me, zigs." And he walked off the field. I never saw him again. He retired. The conditioning test got him.
Torrey Holt quit on the Patriots
Don't this to me,
conditioning test.
Wow.
Very good wide receiver, by the way.
Yes.
Very, very good receiver.
Greatest show on turf.
Mm-hmm. Any receiver that can make Isaac Bruce your team's number 2 receiver.
Torrey, did he get in the Hall of Fame?
He should be.
No.
I didn't think he did either.
Not yet. Wide receivers are on like a.
It's very difficult.
It's
like T.O. Randy Moss. You're not getting in.
There's a list of
criteria.
Well, I think we know why T.O.'s not in.
He finally got in.
They didn't get
first time.
Yeah, he didn't get in. They didn't get in first time.
But I don't think he came.
No, he didn't come.
He didn't show up.
He didn't show up because he wasn't first time.
Oh, that's right. Now I remember all that. Yes. So
Holt was named a finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame this year, but wasn't selected.
All right, so you guys remember the fires in California? The 12 teams came together and donated less than $1 million apiece.
Yeah.
To help out.
I remember that. To 8 different charities.
We talk about where the money goes. In North Carolina, as far as our public schools, in our they'll make these teams play 3 hours away, but they don't provide buses and gas and things like that. While the Athletic Association people make hundreds of thousands of dollars in their pockets. the Panthers and they're doing what they donate up to Western North Carolina. What was it? Do y'all remember the number?
I'm curious.
I can't remember, but I know the Panthers over the years, whether it's Tepper or Richardson or whatever, ask the public for money all the time. How about let's give a round of applause to the Denver Broncos. All Colorado schools in the whole state will be provided brand new Rydell Axiom helmets for every high school program in the state of North Carolina, provided by the Denver Broncos. 15,000 helmets they'll be providing.
The whole state
of North Carolina or state of
Colorado.
Oh, Colorado, okay.
And they'll be providing to the folks in Colorado. It's going to cost them $15 million in the investment. How big of a brick would our local sports owners in this state lay if we asked them to spend $15 million on the public? But look, I mean, the Denver Broncos spent $15 million of their money, which is, your money, public money, whatever it is. But anyway, on helmets. And whether it's helmets, whatever it is, they actually spent money on something other than themselves. And you got Jerry Jones over here cutting pennies and everything, or players not letting Cooper Rush play and get his $200,000 incentive. But I just want to congratulate them on that.
I do want to correct something I say and give credit, because as much as we are, as difficult as we are on the Tepper family, the Teppers did, and again, we can always argue that it should be more, but they did donate $3 million to Hurricane Helene relief efforts. So that's so that figure honestly surprises me a little bit.
He screwed Rock Hill out of way more than that.
Yeah.
I think $3 million's like 75% to a billionaire, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, I like to compare them to like the salaries. So like, you'll spend $10 million on Cody Zeller, but we won't spend $15 million on some football helmets for the state of North Carolina. That's the comparison I want to make on them. Like, we're paying
and
some guy.
Those helmets will probably keep be a lot safer.
Yes.
The
whole point.
Keeping the kids, getting concussions.
If I had to, all my other notes were making fun of the Cowboys and some of Terry's stuff, because that everything this week. Howie Long said there's only 5 NFL teams that would be willing to trade, that wouldn't trade their quarterback for Jaden Daniels. He said Ravens, Bills, Bengals, Chiefs, and Chargers. Any thoughts or arguments for that? My response was
maybe the Chargers.
I had one. There's no way on God's green earth that Jerry Jones would trade Dak Prescott to the Redskins for anybody in this world. So put him on that list, whether he's getting traded or not. He ain't going to the Redskins. I'll put it that way. So I would add him to that list. But like, is Daniels on that type of level that anyone else you wouldn't trade him for?
Heartbeat away. I wouldn't say. He one game away. And then they had that 18-play drive. It looked good for him at the beginning, but the Eagles just too much in the end. But I tell you, he'd have been the first rookie to make it, and he went a long way. I mean, he's
very talented,
and he's cool.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He's so cool and calculated, and kind of like you talk about Cam Newton doing the stupid dances and all that. That's not the way that kid is.
Did you hear some of how
he's grown up?
How he prepares for games. So he'll use VR to play the games at like twice the game speed.
Yeah,
I think that's ingenious, because that's how slow the game must be to him.
He's an adult. That's what I mean. I like. I mean, but he's a kid, but he's an adult. And that's what you need. That's like Kevin was talking about earlier. You need to be a leader of men. You can't be a leader of men. I mean, when I remember Kevin went to the Panthers pregame or something, and your quarterback's over there dancing on the side during warm-up. It's like, I mean, that's just not. I mean, that's just not a leader. That's what they all brag on. Daniels is his maturity level, his preparation, and plus he's really good. That also helps too. But you put it all together, you got to have it between the ears.
I just went through all the teams, Kevin, and I would agree with Howie Long. I would agree with that.
Did they say Houston on their list, Kevin? What about Stroud? That'd be an iffy.
No, I'd trade Stroud in a heartbeat. The only one
because Daniels could have a sophomore slump too.
He could.
So Stroud.
Stroud
didn't lead his team to a conference championship.
What about golf?
Oh gosh, no!
I
I'd
think
trade
Goff-
Goff
I
in a
think Goff's a
heartbeat.
pretty good quarterback.
Dan Campbell would trade Goff in
But
a
I mean,
heartbeat.
I
for him.
love Jaden Daniels. I'm not poo-pooing him at all. I loved him. I was actually pulling for the Redskins, and I've
Especially-
never pulled for Redskins in my life.
And if you hold
that game.
if you hold the age constant, you definitely would want Daniels before Goff.
I tell you, the only one that really was
He's gonna be good for
I
a long
thought about,
time.
and I still think that they would still trade him because he hasn't shown himself to be a consistent passer. Is Hurts. Hurts has led his team to the Super Bowl twice, but
Hurts is a leader too.
I sat here 9 years ago and told Terry that Dak Prescott was not going to work. Jaden Daniels.
Has it been that long?
It's 9 years. I've been a Browns fan for 9 years.
I mean, that's crazy.
Jaden Daniels and C.J. Stroud both have and Baker Mayfield all have as many playoff wins as Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Mitchell Trubisky has too. I mean, he didn't win them, but like that's how I got that listed on here. But Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Flacco, Wilson, Josh Allen is your leaders in playoff wins. Then Jalen Hurts, Burrow, Goff's got 5. Garoppolo and Stafford are next level on those. But yeah, just after 9 years, Taysom Hill is listed on here, but he wasn't the quarterback on those.
If the Jets move on from Rodgers,
they're gonna move on.
Does anybody else try to pick him up?
Yeah.
Who do you think?
Let's look down the list.
Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers.
No,
you don't think anybody would take him?
He's a weirdo.
I think your team might ought to look at him.
No.
What about Seattle?
Tom.
I think your team.
What about Seattle?
Our team keeps talking about. Not. I always get him. It's not.
Gino's being just good enough to keep his.
Who's the guy that was with the? Who's the guy that was with
What
the
about the
Falcons?
Raiders?
Who's the guy that was with the Falcons?
Kirk Cousins.
Cousins. That's who they always talk about.
What about the Raiders?
What do you mean, what about the Raiders?
I mean, they need a quarterback.
Rodgers. Well, you know,
Pete Carroll's the coach.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's owner.
Tom Brady's there.
Yeah.
You want to make a splash?
What about the Giants?
Just don't run him out on artificial turf first game.
Rodgers in Miami. Rodgers in.
Why would you put him in Miami? I guess because you worry about Tua
Tua.
being there.
Yeah, I don't.
What about the Giants?
What do you mean? Well, yeah, that guy has a seizure every
Go from
game.
one New York team to another
He's
New
still
York team.
playing though. I mean, he won't even
That's
wear
the
the
stupidest thing ever.
He
too.
won't even wear the Guardian cap.
He gotta
said
quit.
No, he keeps playing.
That don't make sense to me.
I don't think he's going to quit anytime soon.
Colts. Well, they got Richardson. They got
I
Richardson.
think they're committed to him right now.
I don't think they're committed to Richardson at all.
You don't think so?
Really?
I don't think they are.
I think they still got one more. Give him one more year.
I don't think he's going to pan out.
Yeah, I think that if he's
But
got,
we knew that when he came out of draft. You know,
Well, we all know Rodgers is going to Minnesota, just like Favre.
No, they're going. If they don't keep Darnold,
I
they're
think
going.
they'll
They're going with
franchise
McCarthy.
Darnold.
Either Darnold or McCarthy is who they're going with.
If you're sitting in a room, remember your job's on the line, and you're Minnesota, you're 14-3, and I'm the owner, and I go, you got McCarthy, you got Sam Darnold, which we saw didn't work, or I got Aaron Rodgers. What you gonna do?
I don't think Kevin McConnell wants to deal with the weirdo drama.
What you gonna do?
I don't think he.
Not just a weirdo drama with that, but the offense change.
Yes, I mean
He's bringing the West Coast.
McConnell's gonna run his show. He wants.
What about the Saints were killing everybody.
First 2 games of the season.
What about Aaron Rodgers in New Orleans?
Yeah, possible.
They don't even have a coach right now. He can name his coach.
Is Derek Carr still under contract with them?
I don't think he is. I think he's done. And like you said, Seattle at 10-7.
I still say Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders is not a bad choice.
Why would the 49ers not kick that tire?
Yeah.
Because he's old.
If you're
going to
spend that much money on Aaron Rodgers, you might as well spend it on Brock Purdy.
What about Tennessee Titans?
He's just old and weird, dude. Well, I mean, no.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm giving you a 2-year deal, old Purdy or Rodgers, you're not taking Aaron
Well, you got
Rodgers.
to think of one thing we hadn't thought of. Somebody is talking about retirement. Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
Be a Ram. Go be a Ram.
Because McVay just asked him this week, I need your answer.
I don't know if
Really?
McVay wants.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if McVay wants to deal with this drama. But if you don't have another option though, he might be.
Could you imagine McVay if he can get him to run that?
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
I don't know if Aaron can change his. style.
Stafford's probably what 33. 30,
No, I'm gonna think 7. I'm gonna
Is
think
he that
37.
old?
I think so.
Is he older than that?
I'm looking
Jeez,
it up.
I
He was.
didn't know.
Golly, he was with Megatron all them years.
Yeah.
He will be 37 next month or
Well, I
37
didn't
this week.
realize, man.
37 this week.
Where does the time go? God Almighty! I couldn't believe he's 37. Seemed like he was just playing at Georgia not too long ago. Almighty.
One thing I'm curious about, and I don't know if we're going to talk Super Bowl or not. One thing I'm curious about. Wow, is that Conor McGregor with that Brooke Lopez?
As I don't know Chatfield's first name, and Tommy Morrison. These are professional golfers in the same sport. This is like Muggsy standing next to. They played together the other day as in a pairing on the Bahamas tour.
Hold on.
The KFT tour, Bahamas KFT tour.
If a guy's that tall, I never have my picture made with him. I don't even like having my picture made to a guy at 6'4".
We had
I like something like that Judge and is that Altuve?
You don't want to stand there next to Brooke Lopez
No,
and have people
I
take
do
your
not.
picture.
Judge is a big
No,
dude. I think
don't.
Judge is like 6'4".
So last year at the Masters, the winner of the British Amateur or the Amateur Championship gets an invite to the Masters. Last year it was Christo Lamprecht, 6'8", probably the tallest golfer in Masters history, and my goodness, could he put a move on the ball? It was, he absolutely just annihilated the whole. It's 314 uphill to clear the bunker on the hole I work on, and this dude cleared it on the fly. The bunker didn't come into play with him. It was nuts.
I got to go to Woods. Quit that metal drivers.
I agree with that. That's why baseball has wood bat.
Go back to persimmon.
Isn't Babe Ruth batting with the same thing as Aaron Judge? Pretty much the same thing.
Correct.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
You're that good.
Yeah.
I think the equipment's hard. I agree with what they're doing with the golf ball rollback.
So you can compare better across. It's never a 100% comparison, but it's hard to compare. DeChambeau to Jack Nicklaus or Tom Watson because they're not playing the same game.
I think the industry is concerned that golfers will want to, like if they go to Woods, that they're concerned that the amateurs want to buy what the pros are using, but they won't. But my point is that you don't have to quit making metal drivers for regular people. Amateurs, you can still make this Big Bertha goes 400 yards all you want. It's just the pros have to use wood.
Pros use wood. What do high school kids use?
Yeah, they got the.
It's the same. It'd be
Right.
the same thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it'd be the same.
The pros should use wood and then figure it out from there. Any other comments, concerns, sports, other stuff? Did I miss anything for you guys? Anything I might want to talk about? Or anything? The Super Bowl's next week, of course.
Tom was talking about comparing different ages. We compare how beer and cigarettes versus how spending $5 million on your body.
Yeah.
You see, but that's I think that's
That was
because
a-
the
that was
technology
joking.
has progressed.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Tom. I was
and
joking.
people take better care of their bodies.
It's not just the technology of the equipment; it's
Right.
the technology of healthcare.
But it was not as common to take care of your body.
No.
As but that was called spring training for a reason. Because
There's a reason. There's a reason Jack Nicklaus was known as Fat Jack early in his career. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I just think that's just at least you have to, the science is there, but you have to work for that body.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't take that away from LeBron James. I know that he's got all kinds of people that that tell him, but you still have to work for it. You put in the work.
He's got a lot. He's got.
Now, say that same thing about Mark McGwire, Tom. Go.
He's got a little bit of other help with it.
Go.
Right.
No, wait,
I was
go.
going with that.
Go. You can't stick a needle in there and get biceps. You got to do the work, Tom.
No, you got to think about
Let's
this
hear
too.
it. Go ahead, McGuire and
Taking
Canseco.
those-
They lifted a lot of weights, did they not?
They still
Creatine.
work. I'm not gonna take that away from them. They still put in
Allegedly.
the work, but that's a little bit too much.
Listen, they still got to have the the Barry Bonds had the hand-eye coordination, all this other stuff.
Right.
You see, you're not reinventing that.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. McGuire hit it further than Bonds. Bonds hit 330.
One thing.
So
it's like that's just a big difference.
One thing I'm curious about with the Super Bowl matchup wise, kind of an X factor, is the style of offense Philadelphia is running versus really the Chiefs' X factor this year. They've got offensive geniuses. They've got probably arguably one of the best quarterbacks of all time, so forth and so on. Steve Spagnuolo
Yes, I was gonna say,
is
defenses.
really good at putting pressure on a quarterback. I'm curious what the defense is going to do against Saquon. I'm very curious. Steve Spagnuolo versus Saquon, and if they can shut him down, or at least slow him down, I should say.
You ain't gonna shut him.
Yeah, you're not going to shut him down, but are they going to be able to slow him down?
No, this
enough?
is going to wind up being his best year ever, probably. He's played above it. He ain't got hurt either.
It is his best year already.
Yeah.
Even if they don't win, it's already his best year. But and the Giants have just got to be. I don't know how you keep that GM when you choose Daniel Jones over Saquon. How do you keep your job?
Daniel Jones might play for the Browns next year.
Daniel Jones might be the backup for the Browns next year.
I mean, you know, they've talking about bringing in a journeyman to bridge the gap a little bit.
All right, so here's your other Super Bowl conspiracy bets. The logos the last few years have featured the colors of the teams that will be in it before it even starts. So there's Bengals and the Rams and the Chiefs and the Eagles and the 49ers and the Ravens. I'm not done, boys. How about this year's?
Wait for it.
Red and green. All right.
That looks more like Seattle's green.
All right, Tom, are you ready? I've tried to show you earlier how these bets work. Go ahead and bet for next year's Super Bowl. Okay? The bets for next year's Super Bowl will be between two teams that will be blue. That's next year's logo. I don't know if it's the Lions. It might be the Panthers, the Cowboys, or somebody else blue. Or the Giants. I don't know.
How's it got the same LIX 59? How's it the same?
Tom, you're not. It's not the same. One's LX, one's LIX.
Oh, okay, because the trophy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I see it now, yeah.
Okay.
I see it.
I thought it was LIX for both because, okay, the trophy. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
So there you go. So next year, bet on blue before the season starts. Trying to help you, Tom. Should use the Super Bowl logos in East, West.
I took the money line. I took Buffalo in the money line, and I took the Eagles the cover.
I'm just going
The Eagles covered easily. Shouldn't have took the money. I should have known the refs were going to fix it.
I'm just going to pick whoever's going west.
That's a good one.
Every time it's happened. Every time. All right, guys. Got anything else so we get out of here? No? All right. Thanks real quick for everybody listening and watching today. I want to thank our special guest in the house today, our intern. We'll get her going. She's just learning and watching today. We're going to get her here pressing buttons and running the cameras and everything else here next week. And she's going to join Tom and maybe Chip this week on some basketball. And I'm trying to find the camera. There you go. Hey, wave at it, bro. There you go. JP, move the microphone. All right, we'll see everybody next Saturday. Be back, ktcbroadcasting.com.
The incredible man, I only do